Evening all, live chat 129 coming to you from Brooks's Bass Corner here in London, here in the UK on a very wet Tuesday. It's wet, I can tell you, it's horrible outside. We've had 5 months of solid sunshine, pretty much, give or take a day or two of rain, only a few. We're catching up for it now. I can promise you it is absolutely horrible outside. But anyway, we're inside. Coming to you from London town here in the UK. Live chat 129. You want to talk bass? This is the place to do it. Come on in. You're amongst friends. Visog, I can see you there. Good to see you. If you've not been here on one of the live chats before, then come on in. And you want to talk bass, bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, bass accessories, strings, gig bags, the whole caboodle. You want to talk great bass players, albums with great bass playing on. This is the place to do it. This is where we do it every Tuesday night. We're on StreamYard, broadcast out YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Again, come on in if you follow the Brooks's Bass Corner page, profile on Instagram, Facebook. Come on in, you're welcome. We do about a 3-hour live chat, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. See how we get on. I can see the young Richard there. We got a whole load of stuff to talk about tonight. And before I go any further, I'd like to say thank you to whoever it was in the US that bought some merch overnight. Haven't had a merch order in a little while, and someone bought a load of stuff. I don't know who it was. I've checked with Stacey. It wasn't Stacey. Whoever it was, if you're watching, thank you very much. Really appreciated. So thank you. It's been so long since we had a merch order that StreamYard, arc at me, Spread Shop in the US said, "Oh, well done on your first order." I was like, don't be stupid. I've had a load of orders through here. Because I hadn't had one for so long, they've changed the app and they were seeing it as a first order. I'll take it, whatever. So thank you very much. If that was you, God bless you. Thank you. Really appreciated. So we've got a load of stuff to talk about. Let me give you a quick rundown if you've not been on a live chat before. This is the video one. Teeth aren't in already, are they? Come on. It's been a long day. I've been taking my mum to the hospital today. Right. This is the video window. Directly below, if you're on the mobile app, is the live chat window. If you're on the desktop version, it's that way. Okay? You'll see all the comments, messages, questions all pop up in that live chat window. At the bottom is a rectangle that will say chat or comment. Put your cursor, insertion point in there. Type your question or comment. Press send. It appears here in the live chat window. Next to the chat box, you'll see an emoji icon. Feel free to give that an absolute leathering, please. That would be superb. Helps to promote the video within the algorithm. Next to that, you're going to see a love heart in a rectangle, and that's called super chat. That allows you to make joke. It's going on again, isn't it? I tell you, super glue just doesn't work. Super chat, if you wish to make a financial contribution to the channel, which keeps the channel running, keeps it going, all of that sort of thing, using super chat is the way to do it. If you follow any of the other videos here on the channel, we're a monetized channel, free to watch, of course, free to get involved, of course. But if you find any other videos here on the channel that you think, oh, that's really useful, that's handy advice, that's educational, you want to help the channel, underneath each channel you'll see a row of icons. There's thumbs up, thumbs down, the share arrow, a save button. You'll find there's a love heart with a dollar symbol in. That's called super thanks. Works exactly the same way as super chat. Super chat basically exists on all the live chats. Super thanks exists on every single video. So even if you're watching this video after the event, could be a couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of months, couple of years, you can use that super thanks button and still contribute to the channel if you wish to do so. You don't have to. The videos are free to watch, the channel is free to watch. But if you want to help me, help the channel, help the video, that's a good way to do it. So going back to those icons that are underneath the video windows, a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Please give the video a thumbs up. Most important thing you can do. Audio is only coming through on the left. Here we go. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? Right, just bear with me a moment. Let's just have a little check here, shall we? That's turned on. That's turned on. Audio, stereo, audio is clicked. Mic volume is up. I've turned off echo cancellation and I've turned off the reduce mic background noise. Right, Gareth, you tell me if this changes it, right? Is that any better? I will wait for your reply. Before we go any further, we're ironing out these issues. Is that any better, my man? Is that in stereo? Nope, that's no better, right? Hold on, bear with me. Is that any better? Is that working? Well done, Visog. Nope. Okay, how about this one? Is that any better? Any joy? No. It's a good start then, isn't it? Let's see. If I turn that off. Hang on. Is that any better? We're going to go through all the buttons till we get this sorted. All on the left channel. And it's still doing it. You're pulling your speakers apart. Well, don't do that, Keith. You're not sending me the bill. Sounds fine on the phone. Is that any better? I think I know what it is when I plug a bass into this audio interface, it changes the settings. It doesn't tell me that it's changed anything. Bear with me. Let's see if this makes any difference. Is that any better? I have to wait for your replies, otherwise I'm just going to be constantly pressing buttons. Any joy? Anyone? Is there anyone out? I can see Richard's out there. The joys of live chats. Phone is mono. Oh, there you go. Anyone? There's no other settings I can change within the StreamYard software, as far as I'm aware. There's no other audio. I'll turn stereo audio off if you want. This is often used by musicians with stereo audio input mic, echo cancellation. Lauren, good to see you. I don't know what to say. Take that off. Hey. I've got no other options turned on. This is what's so disparaging. Is that any better? We're going with it. We're just going to... if someone's watching this and they say, oh, the sound's coming out in one ear, I'm really sorry, guys. We could sit here for an hour trying to go through and I can wait for the reply. It's not happening anyway. Right. Most important thing you can do for the video, please, is give it a thumbs up. It promotes the video within the algorithm, shows that hopefully you're enjoying it, even if the sound ain't working. If you're going to give it a thumbs down, then please leave a comment in the comment section. I can't make the videos any better. I don't know what the problem is if you don't tell me. So that's how we do that bit. Next up, you'll find the share arrow. Share arrow. What the hell have I eaten for dinner? Share arrow that will allow you to share the video out to social media, email and websites. We've done the financial bit. That's all good. Go into the description box, which is underneath the icons. You're going to find timestamps that allow you to jump through this video if you're watching it at a later date. You'll find links there for Brooks's Bass Corner merch, of course. So hats, mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, tons of stuff. 170 items across 15 different designs, which are all applied to the various items. Again, thank you very much to whoever it was that bought a load of merch in the US overnight. I woke up to an email to say, someone's bought a load of merch. Here's your commission. I was like, great, fabulous. So if you want to help the channel, want something for your money, by all means, look at the merch options in the description box. There's one link for UK and Europe. There's another link for the US and worldwide. So wherever you are on the planet, you can buy Brooks's Bass Corner merch. Helps me, helps the channel. You get something for your investment. Thank you very much. Then you'll find affiliate links for the Bass Centre here in the UK. There's also affiliate links for vidIQ, Top Cashback and StreamYard. Then if you've got any bass-related purchases, I'll come to you about that, Gareth, in a moment. So if you're looking to buy anything bass-related, amps, basses, effects, strings, gig bags, cleaning materials, all of that caper, There are affiliate links in the description box for Amazon, Thomann, and Andertons. So find the products you want using the links there. If you go through to the Brooks' Bass Corner store on Amazon, you think there's something I want, but he hasn't got it in there. Come and tell me. I can add the item in. You can buy it, or I can put an affiliate link here in the live chat. You can help the channel. Again, if you're just buying a set of strings, small affiliate commission helps all those small commissions become a bigger commission, helps the channel survive. That's how it all works. Then after the affiliate links, you're going to find social media links, and you'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, Be Real, Reddit, Quora, Discord, and TikTok. We are done. Right, Richard, I'm coming your way. There's a load of messages there. Let's have a look who we've got here. I'm just going back through because I've got to star them. Gareth, evening. Richard, evening. We'll come to you in a minute. Vissog, well done, sir. Gareth, yeah. Vissog, yep. This is all the sound stuff. Sorry, I have to star these within the YouTube algorithm. Keith Doherty, very good. Stacy, right, yeah. Lauren's there, good to see you, my man. Working now. I don't know what I pressed that changed it. There we go. Sounds okay for you. Albriano, good to see you. Kev C Bass, good to see you too. Very good. Dawson, you're halfway through the book Me by Elton John. Fabulous. Well done, sir. Great to see you. Yeah, I'm good. Right. Let's bring young man onto the screen, shall we? There we are. Put him there. There we are. Super. How are we doing? All right.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yeah, rampant.
Rampant. Can't be bad.
Yeah, pressing every button on my audio interface.
That's okay then. Yeah, excellent.
It happens. I sometimes think some of these things are within StreamYard because they keep. Well, in fact, every time I log into StreamYard every Tuesday for this, it says we've got these 10 new updates and I can't take it all in. There's like so much going on. And I think the way StreamYard processes sound, and also the way it pumps it out to the different platforms, if there's one bug in there, it mucks the whole thing up. But somehow it's all working now. So there we are. Ollie, there we go. Good to see you. Ollie and I had a long old chat on Saturday about Jaydees and strings and stuff. Very good. We can carry on that conversation, young man, if you wish. So feel free to do that. Right, and before we get you and me get into a chat, I've got a whole load of things I need to talk about here. So, right, first thing on my list, the hype option. I mentioned this last week, just as I was coming onto the live chat. I got a message from YouTube to say there's a new feature within YouTube called hype. It has bad connotations. They picked the wrong word. But basically, if someone puts a video up, you for 7 days after that video has gone public, you as the audience can hype it. It doesn't cost anything. It's a free thing, and you can actually push a creator's video, and it's a regional thing apparently. So European channels will feature in their own sort of table, like a league of hyped videos. The US will have theirs, Australia will have theirs, blah 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 blah. Anyway, I haven't seen that option yet, but there have been a load of videos by the YouTube education channels sort of telling everyone about it. So if you go on to one of my videos, you see a hype button, feel free to press it. Give me all the points because it'll push the videos out, and hopefully by hook or by crook, the algorithm will pick it up. There's no guarantee, apparently. vidIQ said YouTube had announced that the algorithm won't necessarily take notice of this, but somehow within the mechanics of YouTube, it will get picked up and hopefully push your videos. So again, if you see the hype option next to my videos, please click on it. It would really help. Right, merch we've just done, so that's cool. So again, I don't know who it was that bought that order. There's no name attached to the details I get. All I know is someone bought a load of merch overnight from the US. So if it was you and you're watching this live chat, thank you very much. I can't say any more than that, but you made me very happy, put it that way. Right, next thing. This Sunday, September the 7th is the memorial concert for Nick Smith. It's a funny thing because obviously Jamie's coming over. I'm attending. Lots of bass luminaries from the UK are attending. We weren't sure how this was all going to be organised and sort of set out. And it's not that it worries me. There are a lot of bass players going to be attending this event because we were friends with Nick. But for a lot of us, we're not going to be able to get up and perform. They've got 20 bands playing across 2 stages over 10 hours. I don't know quite how they're going to manage it. But there are lots of people that thought they would be able to sit in with bands and play a song or two. And it might happen. I doubt it. And it's a real shame because loads of us wanted to get up and play and do our thing for Nick, but it's the way it is. It's the way people have organised it. So it's really going to be going there for the hang, enjoying the day. And then that leads me on to, if you want to attend, I'll put a link in later. There is a Facebook page for it, Nick Smith Memorial Gig, I think it is. In fact, why don't I just put the link in the live chat, idiot. Right, hold on. Let's put this in. Here we go. Yeah, I've clicked on it. Right, we want that. Share this link to invite others. That's the fellow. Right, so if you click on this link that I'm about to put in the live chat, it will take you through to the Facebook page and you can get all the details from there. I think it kicks off at midday. Yeah, midday till 9. So they've got an hour less than I thought to get through all 20 bands. It's at Charters Bar, which is at Town Bridge in Peterborough, which is about 100 miles north of London. If you're going, I'll see you there. Jamie will be with me as well, and a whole load of other bass luminaries. So it should be good. Now, leading on to that, there will be the raffle for Nick's bass that he basically designed it. So people will have seen pictures of Nick with his Green Beauty, which he designed with Granger guitars. He was in the process of designing his own Nick Smith bass called the Midas. Fortunately, he passed away before they managed to build it for him. So the guys at Granger Guitars have very lovely built this bass, given it to the family to raffle off. So the money from the proceeds of raffling it off are going to go to the Nick Smith Memorial Fund, which will, I mean, there's a whole load of things attached to that. They've set up a music foundation in Nick's memory. So all the proceeds are going to go towards that. There is a raffle for this, and let me just give you the link. So anyone that wants to buy a ticket, you can do up until, I think it's Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Then from that point on, you can only buy tickets if you attend the gig, and then they'll get put into the raffle as well. So let me just see if I can find that link. Stop sending me updates. Right, Granger Guitars. Here we go. Now then, where's the link? It's not on there, is it? Right, bear with me a moment. Right, we're going to have to go to their Facebook page, I think. And I'll give you this link for it. Here we go. That's the fella. Let's fire that up. Just check it's still working, which it should be. There we are. So there's a raffle entry, which is £20 a ticket. And if you don't want to enter the raffle, but you would like to make a donation to Nick's Memorial Fund, you can do. There's 2 options there on the page. So let me just add that to the live chat. It's a hell of a link, isn't it? Sorry about that. I didn't know it was going to be quite that hefty. There must be a shorter version. There is, because I put it up there the other week. So where's that link? Right, let me see if I can create that as a shorter. There we are. That's a bit more like it. Right, select all of that. This one's better, sorry. He says, and then I'll put this in and it won't be any better. Yes, that's much better. There we go. Half the size. So again, if you want to enter that raffle for the Nick Smith Midas, it sounds great. Sounds great. Looks great. He put a lot of thought into it. I know. Every time he had a custom bass made for himself.
Indeed, it does.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And there are loads of footage and videos on Bass Chat and the Granger Guitars page going through the whole build process, so you can see how that bass was built. So hopefully that one's a little better. Good. So if you want to attend that, it's from midday till 9 o'clock on Sunday at Charters Bar in Peterborough. If you want to buy a ticket for the raffle, that link is there. You can find Granger Guitars. Well, just do search in Google. They're on Facebook. Links are in their various posts. And let me just see if they've updated. Online sales will remain open until 6 p.m. on Saturday, the 5th of September. So you've got until 6 o'clock on Saturday if you want to buy a ticket online. Then they will only be available. Tickets will only be available in person at the memorial gig up to the draw around 8:30. I'll be ordering mine tomorrow. So that is that. So that's me up to date with all of that, I think.
Lovely.
So what's happening with you, young man?
Ooh, lots of things, I think. Right. Played on Friday and Saturday. Did a local show job on Friday.
Yeah.
Which was brilliant. Played the Stealth 2.
Oh, yes.
Which was,
yes.
Yeah. Potent.
No shrinking violet.
Not quite, no. And did an Everleys and Friends tribute show on Saturday in, where were we? Clifton in Nottingham, so.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, good. Well, I was at a frenzy last week. I had... So I'd had the gig on Saturday. We did live chat Tuesday. I then had a private function on Wednesday it was Quendon Hall in Saffron Walden.
All right, yeah.
Thursday off to run the Decades of Dance set, which we did on Friday at Beam Theatre in Hartford, which went great. Some Excellent. Good videos online of that. And then Saturday we were at Strode Park in Herne Bay. So we played, and even though it rained, the crowd stayed. So that was all good. And we had a great night. We were a bit worried they might cancel the show, but thankfully they didn't. So we did okay.
Very good.
Yeah, I can see some messages here. Gareth Harrison, Fender have just released a Sid Vicious signature bass. It has no input jack. Output jack, you mean? Yeah, so no one can hear it. That's a good idea, I say. Ollie, yes, Jaydee's and Fret Buzz. That's the ticket. If you want to talk about that, Ollie, we can talk about that. And do you get a pack of 10 so you can smash them up? That's exactly it. Lauren, my only bass guitar is your Enfield Lionheart bass. Very nice. Is it true that they have stopped making bass guitars?
Yes. They have, yes.
A couple of years ago. 2022, I think. 2023.
22 or 23, yeah.
Yeah, so at the moment he's doing the LEDs and I think repairs and customization, but he's not doing spraying.
All right, okay.
And he stopped doing the basses. So he's kind of reappraised his business model, I think. Andy Stratford, you're going to appear about 9:30. Jolly good. I'll send you an invite. Let me just do that. Actually, let me put the banner back up because I took that down. Anyone wants to join in with me and Rich and Andy and Jamie will be here later and Zuma, you can. Just drop me an email. Email ticker's running along the top of the screen. You can email me at brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. Email me. I send you an invite and then you click on the invite and you come through live. That's how that works.
Excellent.
Let me just find your thing, Andy. There we go. And we want one of those. That's good. There you go. Splendid. Right, back to the messages. Let's see what I've got here. You had the Lionheart prototype, yeah.
I did, yeah.
I had the I had the original Enfield Cannon here in this very room.
Actually, Actually, talking of Nick brought that to my old house.
Ah,
That was the
God,
one with the V'd neck,
that's
wasn't
right.
it?
Based
Yeah,
on the original walls. Yeah.
that's right.
So I
Absolutely
had
awful
those,
play.
and then I had the Avenger ones when they first came
Yeah.
out, and then we had Avenger 2 about 5 years later. So
Hmm.
yeah, I did quite a few of the Enfields as they came out.
Hmm.
Lauren, nice. I think we might have virtually crossed paths one day. Highly likely you've
Quite
crossed
possibly, yeah.
Richard's path along the way. You bought it in 2014 directly from the maker. Very good. You think yours is from 2022? Quite possibly. Yours was the only older one with the ebony fingerboard. Right,
It
cool.
was, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Lauren, do you know how many were produced? Not many. Not
I'd
many.
say he probably didn't make more than about 20 or 30 tops, did he?
Well, of the Lionhearts, or do you mean
Yeah.
across all the
Yeah.
bases? Oh, of
The
Lionhearts, yeah. I'd say across all
Lionheart,
the
about 20
bases,
or 30.
I'd say 100 to 125, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've got the Cannons, you've got the Avenger 1s, you've got the Avenger 2s, you've got the Lionhearts, you've got the
Yeah.
English Roses, the Black
Yeah.
Ravens, and the Lionheart Airs.
Didn't he also
So
do a Nick Smith signature bass?
that was just a one-off for Nick, I think. I
Oh,
don't think
right.
it went
Okay.
into a production thing.
Mm.
Again, Nick's taste could be slightly esoteric, and he kept going back to the Chris Squire Green Meridian vibe, which isn't to everyone's taste. Which
Yeah.
we all like Chris Squire, and the
Yeah, sure.
Meridian is a thing. But Nick did like a green bass, and he kept
Mm.
going for those sort of wonky body shapes. This is the problem with a custom bass. Unless you do a Phil Mann and your custom bass is built around a jazz or a precision, people have to like your design in order to buy it. And if you go for
That's right.
something a little esoteric, you aren't going to sell many of them. And I know quite a few bass players who've gone to manufacturer and said, I want to do a custom bass, and you should make it my signature model. And it's like, yeah, but if no one else wants it, there's no money in it.
That's right. Yeah.
So I've known a few gigging pros that have gone down that road thinking if they had a signature model, they'd make a packet.
Mm.
Unless it sells in big numbers, you won't make a packet. So, that's the way it goes.
Absolutely.
You were sad hearing production had stopped. I don't think Martin was making enough money out of them.
Mm.
And as anyone that's a luthier will tell you, making an instrument is not a quick process. And it
It's a
takes
lot of hours.
time to realize your profit. Oh, here we go. It's
Mm.
that time, ladies and gentlemen. It is that time. My mum was asking me about this earlier, so you know what's coming. I know what's coming. There we go. You, my friend, are out of here. Yes, you are.
You are.
There we go. Headless Antoinettes. 5, maybe 10. To be honest, I don't think if Marcus Bell from Bass Direct hadn't been working at Enfield at that time, I don't think Martin would have even gone down the headless thing. I think that was probably Marcus give him a bit of a nudge saying we should do something like a Mark King Red Status Series 2000,
Mm.
like the red one from Running in the Family. And that's kind of what led to that, I would imagine. I'm only surmising, but I know Marcus's taste in bass perfectly. So, I'm
Yes.
sure Martin wouldn't probably have gone down that route otherwise. But I don't think they sold
Lee,
many, and I've certainly not seen many.
actually, talking of the FPPR Series
Mm,
2000, we
mm.
ought to get Matt on. Matt
Don't
owns
know
it.
who he is. Matt
Matthew
who?
Ashenden.
If you have
He's.
contact, then
I do.
feel free, invite him over. But
He he
don't know the guy.
used to call himself the Moo.
Ah, yes, yes, Moowood
Yes,
and all that. Well, I don't know the guy, so if you want to invite him onto the chat, feel free.
I
Do
will
that.
make
I
contact.
open that all to all of you that come on the live chats.
Yeah,
Please bring more bass players to the live chat. It makes the
come and join us.
experience far better. Yeah, and we have more knowledge, more expertise, more information. available to us. That's how it works. I'm just checking everything on the chat is working fine. We've had 2 new subscribers since we went live. Thank you very much. If you've just subscribed to the channel, thank you. Bless your heart. That's fab. Right, I'm just checking that the stream is running fine. Just bear with me a second. That's all looking good. Stream health is excellent. There we are. That's what we want. And we've got 24 viewers. Going along nicely. So here we are, Brooks's Space Corner, live chat 129, broadcasting from London here in the UK. If you're coming in on the shorts feed, welcome. If you're coming in on the vertical live stream feed, welcome. We're broadcasting out to Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. We're talking bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, bass accessories, strings, gig bags, you name it to do with bass. This is where we do it every Tuesday. So this is live chat 129. Believe it or not, we've done 129 of these.
Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Dating back to December 2020.
I wasn't on at that time. I've only been doing these about April or May, I think, isn't it?
That's right. April, I think you started appearing. So, yeah.
I appeared out of nowhere.
Hey, Chris. Good to see you. Chris Morey from the US. There we are. Lovely. And Stacey's there having a laugh. Just starring these comments. It's all good. So if anyone's got any questions, anything you want to talk about regarding basses,
ask away.
Fire away. That's what we're here for.
Yes.
If you're waiting for the Pink Beauty to appear, he will be along a little later.
Bless him. And all who's sailing him.
That's right. Ironing his smalls, apparently.
One indeed doesn't want to know this. But yeah.
Well, it's just the state of those smalls.
Well, yeah. Horrid thought. Anyway. Yeah.
He will be over Thursday. If you want to join us, we will be in London Thursday afternoon. We're going to the gallery in Camden, followed by a curry. Surprise, surprise.
Excellent.
And we're going to be looking at some basses while he's here in London. And then Friday, we're off to... We thought we were going to Bass Brothers, but we're not sure we're going to fit that in. It looks like we're probably going to Jaydee straight away. Bit of a mooch around the factory, bit of a chat, off for a curry. That's that. And then I think he and his friend Stuart are going to go down to see Martin Sims down in Ashford. Sunday, we're going to Nick Smith's commemoration gig thing. And then he flies back on Monday. Dawson, have you ever seen Elton John live? I haven't. And bizarrely, I had a ticket to see him with Billy Joel in 1998, because I was always a Billy Joel fan, or been Elton John fan, but I was a bigger Billy Joel fan. And Billy Joel fell ill. They were doing the Saturday and the Sunday at Wembley Stadium, so it was like a duo gig. And Billy Joel fell ill for the Sunday, didn't do the gig, but the tickets were still valid, and you could have a full Elton John show, and I didn't go. I went and got my money back. I wasn't that bothered. Now, looking back, I wish I'd gone, because he had a really good band at the time. But there we are. Ollie, I've done a bit of fretwork on the Jaydee. Still a little buzzy, but I want to avoid taking away any fret material. There's hardly anything to those tiny frets anyway.
Did you try putting more relief in to the neck?
He knows how to do that. Yeah,
I'd imagine so,
I would say, Ollie, if you were really not that happy with it, I think you should get on the phone to, trying to get them to answer the phone's half the problem. Maybe have a word with Jamie off chat and see if he can sort of open up the lines of communication, because you've clearly paid for that refret and you're not happy with it. And if they've put in the wrong sort of frets, did they give you an option on the type of fret wire you could have? Or did they just say, well, it's just what we use and that's that? Because if you've shelled out some serious cash, you should be happy with that. And if you're not, then it needs to go back to them to remedy it. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, tomorrow I'm doing an extremely danger-filled day, going up to friends in the Manchester area
Right.
and doing some trading, and I've got a choice of a Stingray Special 5
Mm.
in the sort of black to chrome burst. I think it's called
Oh, the charcoal burst.
chrome. I think it's called smoked chrome.
Yep.
This
Okay.
one, yeah,
Mm.
or a nearly new Fender Precision. I'm trying to think what it's called now. Ultra 2. So
Are you keeping this or are you going to flip it?
I have no idea yet.
Do you need another 5-string?
Uh, Technically, no,
Okay.
but it's a
Bear in mind, the
really,
Stingray is an
really
industry
nice bass.
standard. It's an industry standard. So if you were to keep it
Yeah,
and you ever needed a 5-string, it was a totally different sounding and playing beast to a status 5,
very
but
true.
it
Yes,
has a tone that people always ask for.
yeah,
So
that's right. Yeah,
personally, out of the two, I would go with the Stingray.
yeah,
Um, hmm, yeah,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
the
As
Fender
in
stuff just
the
there's so much of that,
yeah, very true.
and I do get the impression that Music Man aren't producing the level of instrument numbers that they
Yeah,
used to, and
true.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
over
right.
time that's going to start thinning out the herd a bit, and so if suddenly
Yeah.
another player comes along who if Chris Wolstenholme starts using 5-string Stingrays,
Mm.
whoosh,
Well,
price
absolutely. Yeah,
goes up.
that's
So,
right. Yeah, and of course, at the same time, the Ultra 2 compared to my Elite
mm,
is a bit sort of cheapened. They've
okay,
actually,
I'd go for the Stingray. The Stingray
yeah,
will hold its value.
yeah, yeah,
Not to
true.
say the Fender won't, but I think the Stingray again
Mm,
because it's such an industry standard and
yeah,
it's that sound.
mm,
There aren't many basses that sound quite like a Stingray 5. So, um,
yes,
but
true.
it's up to
Yeah,
up
horses
to
for
you. But
courses.
I mean, they're great basses to play.
Mm,
And when I did the Bonnie Tyler stuff, that was what their MD said. Oh, have you got a 5-string Stingray? I was like, yeah. They said, well, that's what Lee Pomeroy uses. So if you've got one, use that. So I
mm.
was like, okay. Okie
Yep.
dokes. Chris,
Yeah.
guys, on that note of your visits to bass shops, how many bass only stores have launched in England since the Bass Centre London became distribution only? No,
Launched?
in London, none.
None. No.
So the gallery was there from about 1992, 93. We've had chains open up. So there's Guitar Guitar. There was PMT. PMT are no more. Guitar Guitar is still going. There's one or two guitar shops around Denmark Street, but Denmark Street used to be legendary. There's
Yeah, it
not
is
many left. There's not
huge.
many left around there. Bass Direct opened up in 2006, 2007, and that's in Warwick. The
Yeah,
only other one that is bass specific
is actually
still
near the
going would be Bass Brothers,
Bass
which is near
Brothers. Yeah,
Bass Direct. And outside of London, in Twyford, there used to be Bass Gear, which opened up around, I would say, 2007, 2008, and it shut not long after Vic Davis died, and that was 2017, early 2017. So that place closed down. So in London and south of Birmingham, I would say none specifically have opened up. The only ones would be Bass Direct, Bass Brothers, and Bass Gear. Bass Gear's gone, and
yeah.
that would be it really.
Mm.
Which is a shame. It's just the way it is. So much is bought and sold now online that
Yeah,
the
it is.
shops have
That's
to
right.
try and carve a niche and make a profit, and it's hard. It's hard. Ollie, nope, no option. I really wasn't bothered so long as it wasn't buzzy. 180 quid. I'd I'd say now, as in now 2025, 180 quid for a refit is quite cheap.
It is. Yeah,
20
very
years
rich.
ago, that would have been about the going cost. Would have been 180 quid. Now I'd expect to pay double or more than that. Um, the ball's in your court. If you're not happy about it, you need to let Jaydee know and let them rectify it. But if they've put those frets in and they're thin wire and there isn't a lot of material on there, Other than remove them and refret it again, which they will probably ask you to pay for, I don't know what the options are. I don't know. I don't know. But I would at least give them the option to make the job right. But as you and I know, they're so bombed out the door with work and base builds that how long will it be away from you? I don't know. I don't know. But I would speak to Jamie and open up those lines of communication and let them say to them, look, I'm just not happy with this. It's buzzing all over the place. There's not a lot of fret material. What can we do here? And then see what they say and take it from there, I guess. Other than that, if you're still not happy and they're not going to do anything about it, then I think you're going to have to bite the bullet and take it somewhere else for another fret job and specify what fret wire you want. Lauren, are JDs overrated? You writing my video titles? I've done a few videos titled like that. They're not overrated. They are. They do a certain thing and they do it well.
Yes.
But if you want it to be an all-rounder,
no,
in my view, and I'm not vested in any way. I've never even spoken. The only person I spoke to at JD was John Diggins, and that was in 1998. Other than that, I've had no communication with them whatsoever. I now have one here. Used it on the gig last week. It was pretty good. It wasn't as slippery, smooth, and all-encompassing like some of the other basses I use, but it has its own voice, its own feel, its own tone. But it does what it does, and if it doesn't do what you want it to do, then it's not going to suit you. Personally, if I had the money to buy one bass, a JD wouldn't be it. And I've never been, as much as I'm a Mark King fan and all of that, it was never the pinnacle of my bass purchasing I was ever going to, it wasn't something I sat there and went, I've got to own a JD. I got lucky that in 1998 one crossed my path for a pittance, and unfortunately it hadn't been looked after and kept up, and I got rid because I couldn't see how I could fit it into the work I was doing at the time. This one has come through via an inheritance situation, but it's not something I've moved on since 1998. I have better basses here than that. It is what it is. And as I said to Jamie, actually, on a chat, I might have said it to you, Ollie, the JDs, as fabulous as they are and what have you, are built around a template that goes back to the late 70s, early 80s. Bass design, bass circuitry, pickups, bass manufacturer has moved on. We're 45 years on. Things have changed. Circuitry's changed. Bass playing tastes have changed. So if you don't like a bass that's inherently middly and throaty and quite grindy in its delivery, that ain't going to work. And it doesn't matter how much bass you add in. I mean, one thing surprised me last week. So normally in Uncle Funk, I use an Empathy or a GB or something else. Someone's got things pinging. Is that you, Richard?
Me.
Okay.
Mute
your notifications, please.
I'll try. It's on
Is it on the machine?
Laptop, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you go down to your sound thing in the right-hand side, where your speaker thing is, there should be a box you can tick that says mute notifications.
I'm on
You're on a Mac.
MacBook Air.
Oh, I don't know then. That's for you to sort out.
Yeah.
But so when I'm not doing Uncle Funk, I've normally got a different bass. It's the first gig I've done with a JD in 26 years. So our sound levels, because we're on in-ears, I don't have backline. My monitor man said, or sound man said, have you actually got that plugged in? I said, what are you saying? He said, it is so quiet. He said, your levels that I normally, very low output. He said, I've got your levels for what I normally have. He said, I've just turned all of that up and I can hear you. He said, but there's not a lot going on. He said, have you got the EQ boosted? I said, yeah, I've got the bass flat out. So what we ended up doing was I told him, bring your levels down and I'll boost it on my Aguilar tone hammer pedal. So I was doing all the EQ boosting, mid-range and all of that there. And then he could pick his level up from that. When we did the gig on Friday, 2 days later, and I went back to using a Stingray and the empathy, I said to him before I plugged in,
Turn it down first.
you have turned me down, haven't you? He said, good point. I hadn't. I said, good, because if you don't, I'm going to blow the system. So, and I had the Stingray. I said, are you ready? He said, yeah. Played a couple of notes. He was like, yeah, that's super hot. We need to come down. So the Jaydee is not a hot thing.
Output bass, yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of have to be prepared for that. So I can't remember. Was it Ollie or was it someone else? No, it was Westport was saying the other week that he thought the Jaydee circuit was overpowered, like super loud. It isn't. Yeah. Or at least the one I've got here isn't. And that's a 1988. So,
no, I actually had my Stingray plugged into the Mark bass earlier on Friday, and the input gain was on about sort of 10 o'clock ish. All right, I plugged the Stealth 2 in.
I know what you're going to say.
Friday evening, turned it down to 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
too much power. Yeah.
See, I had the same thing with Kabiki when I went from having my Kabiki to using Stingray.
Yeah.
The Stingray will wipe most other basses when you plug it into an amp.
It does, yeah.
So you could always have your Kabiki boosted up, and I'd have it all nicely sculpted on the EQ. Plug the Stingray in, it's like an ogre coming along with like a hammer, just going
club sort of thing. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's like a battering ram. I'm just reading the rest of your message, Lauren. Sincerely, if Mark and some other few fellow bassists would have played another brand, would the hype have been that big?
Mark
no,
did.
I don't think so. Well, yes, but I think had Mark King not used them at the start of his career, and he actually went out with his 500 quid from his advance to buy a wall.
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine what would have happened with wall had Mark used those?
They'd be even more expensive now.
So, no, and had Mark not taken them back on, they certainly wouldn't be going through the resurgence they are. It's
very true.
I hate the word, but it's the best description. The fanboy effect has always been there. Anything Mark King picks up or even slightly glances at goes through the roof. So it's what it is. I get some of the reason he's gone back to the Jaydee. I think some of it, certainly his choice of going back to the Jaydee was affected by the fact that he knew in advance that States were going to go into semi-retirement, start winding down. So he wasn't going to have that level of instant support and new bass models constantly. I think I haven't had a chat with him about that. If I interview him again, I'll ask him that question. But also he said he felt very nostalgic towards the Jaydee. And the tour that they did straight after COVID was the 40th anniversary, and they were playing the first album in its entirety. You might as well use the bass that you used to record it then. And that's just sort of carried on. Have to say, I saw him at Hammersmith in 2023. The show was great. Bass sound was great. Fabulous. But I keep seeing videos from since we came out of COVID, and I'm not entirely convinced with the tone. I'm just not. The Jaydees originally, when like the first period of level 42 up to about 85, it was a sound of its own. I think the Trace amp, the wall of amps and cabs and stuff,
great.
It complemented it. I don't think it works with the Mark bass stuff.
I would agree. To be honest, Mark bass stuff doesn't work with a traditional wooden bass.
Right.
It's too sort of chewy and, harsh. Whereas something like a Status or a Music Man sounds, of course, brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lee Bolton. Have I listened to the YouTube video Mark King's isolated bass on Star Child? I was very surprised at not only the recorded sound, but by how un-Mark King it sounded. I haven't heard that. Is that the isolated bass from the original track are you talking about, or are you talking about a live version? If you're talking about the original track, I wouldn't be surprised if there was keyboard bass. There might be some Wally Badaroo keyboard
wizardry
stuff
going on,
yeah, replicating that line. Mark would have come up with the line, I'm sure, but I'm wondering if there's some keyboard stuff in there. But then again, if you go back and listen or watch the Rock Palace 83 gig and they did Star Child. That sounds very different to the record and what have you, but it is what it is, I guess. Gareth, looking at setting up an IEM rig for your acoustic trio, notice that you can get some KZ ZSN Pro IEMs on Temu for under a tenner. What else would you need? Well, so this morning you sent me the thing on Temu, which is the wired box, and I said to you, maybe you want to get the Behringer one. If you get the box, then you are constantly walking around with an XLR hanging out of that box. And believe me, I've been on the end of standing on that lead and it coming out of your box, and then you have no monitors. So if you're going to go down that route, that's fine. There's no harm in having those boxes. If you're going to go down the completely wireless thing, then you need to get some of those. I use the Sennheiser G2, G3s, I think. And I bought mine off eBay, and they've been bomb-proof. So second-hand is good. You don't need to buy brand new. Don't buy, is it LD? There's a company called LD, I think, and they do cheap wireless stuff and IEMs. Don't buy it. I've seen people buy that and then throw it against a brick wall because it's either fallen to bits or stopped working mid-gig. But if you go for like a Sennheiser or a Shure, then that's cool. But in terms of the IEMs, you know I'm going to sell the KZ Pros, but do it via Amazon. Don't do it via Temu. I think no, do it by Amazon, because if there's a problem, you can send them back. Temu, I wouldn't trust. But it's up to you, mate. You're paying the money. Ollie, I don't think Jaydees are overrated, but there's only so good a bass can get. There's a backhanded compliment. You're talking in riddles, young man, I swear. Yeah. I don't think they're overrated, okay, but there's only so good a bass can get, right? Okay.
Well, I don't know, because I've played a lot of, for instance, as an example, I've played a lot of Stingrays, and at the moment I've got one that's 30 years old, and it actually rings and actually resonates like absolutely nothing else. It's phenomenal.
Is that do you mean the 95?
Yeah.
So 30 years, yeah.
Oh well,
that's it.
With it,
the body timber makes a big difference.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, totally.
Totally. There's a load of messages here. I need to rattle through these. Ollie, I'm always going to be a bit biased. That's okay. That's all right. There's no problem with that.
We all are.
Lauren, Gareth Harrison, Andy Baxter in Leeds.
Oh, yes. We actually forgot about him, didn't we? He's the dealer in Leeds that sells classic vendors and things. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Bill Derbyshire, good evening. Sorry I'm late to the party. You are the party, Bill. You are the party. Like Robert Downey Jr. says, as Iron Man, I'm bringing the party to you. Yes, indeed. Gareth Harrison, Richard, click the control center icon. 2 toggle switches in the menu.
I have already been into settings, and I have turned the notifications lever right to the bottom, so it's fine.
There we go. Gareth, having an EQ pedal for your second bass helps with gain differences. Yes, indeed. King Charles, good to see you. You say that, but Marcus Miller's slap bass tone with the MB was sublime. What are we talking? I say what?
With the Mark bass.
Ah, okay. Yeah, but I've seen Marcus live a number of times since he moved over to Mark bass, and I will, if I could show you footage of a gig that he does with that, and then show you a gig with him when he's either played through EBS or Aguilar backline,
that's completely
different. The difference is very marked. Yeah. I can tell you, he doesn't use Mark bass because he likes it. Okay, like a lot of players, they use this stuff because they're getting
kickbacks,
big endorsers fee. Yes, which is why Marcus stopped promoting the Marcus Miller model with Fender was because Fender pulled in the reins on the endorsement deals, and
Yeah.
Marcus unfortunately wasn't going to get an endorsement deal anymore. So when you suddenly see 50 grand or 100 grand isn't going to hit your bank account, you're going to go out and find those other companies that you can make that money. You can't tell me Mark King uses Mark Bass and he doesn't get paid for it. It's his choice. His choice. That's what he wants to use. That's what he uses.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
If he was entirely happy with it, he wouldn't be using a Caveman Audio preamp.
Absolutely. Good evening, Albriano. Very nice to see you too.
Oh, and they've never grounded the XLR for some reason. That's crazy behaviour. Lauren, what bass did he use on the early tapes? He used a Heyman 4040, which are very, well, basically the same as a Shergold Marathon. Yeah. Basically, it's the same bass, just a different brand line. And that bass, the pickups weren't secured into the body. So every time he would put the bass down to go into the control room or whatever, the pickups would fall out and he had to put them back in. So there's a couple of times when he's playing and the pickups go thump against the strings. But anyway, so yeah, that's what he used for the early tapes. And he got the Jaydee, I think in 80, sometime around 1980. And around it was, so that's the bass you hear on the first album. Definitely. And then things like Pangborn started coming to the mix, and then Status appeared around 82, 83. And some albums it's easier to pick out, like the most of True Colors is a Status. I think there might be one or two Jaydee moments. A lot of World Machine is Status. Lying Still is the Zom. A lot of Running in the Family album is Status again. And for some reason, he went for Status on recordings, but Jaydee's live. The man's a mystery. He just uses what he wants when he wants.
He does, and, absolutely.
You know, sometimes no rhyme and reason for it.
A lot of Forever Now and the one after, which I can't remember. Guaranteed, is it?
Guaranteed and Forever Now and Trash.
They were on the Stingrays.
Stingray that I had.
Yes, true. Your old one.
It was a crack. I should have kept. I should have kept it. I got a good price for it, so I can't argue. Ollie, a Shergold modulator, thank you.
Yes.
Then overdubbed it with the Jaydee. There we go. Some of it was overdubbed, not all of it. Lee Bolton, what would have loved to have heard Mark play a Status through an EBS rig? Yeah, I would have too. I don't know why he seemed so against even trying any of that gig. And I've never asked him why, but you got to remember at the time, he had his deals with Ashdown, but even preceding that, he had gone back to using a custom-made trace head in 2001. So, and then after that, started carrying on with Ashdown again and toing and froing. I don't know. I wonder if the falling out with Bernie kind of influenced that, but he could have bypassed using Bernie if he'd wanted to. He could have just worked directly with EBS Direct, but I don't know what his aversion to using it was. And as far as I know, he's never had any, never used any. I don't know. Albriano, hello, Richard. Great to see you. Yes. Gareth, wasn't Marcus an SWR artist? He was for quite a while. But even going back before SWR got bought out by Fender, he was using EBS. So he started using EBS around about 2000, I think. So he was over here in 97. He wouldn't have been using EBS then. And EBS came out with their updated range of gear around about 2000, 2001, 2002. So I guess they would have approached him at that point. Probably would have been at a NAMM show, I would imagine. But yeah, he was an SWR artist, but he, for whatever reason, seemed to love the EBS gear. And then eventually SWR gave themselves a kick up the bracket and thought, we need to do a Marcus preamp. But they just didn't take off. And by that point, SWR were a brand under Fender, and obviously he was a Fender artist, so we're going to do Marcus Miller amp, and then they buried SWR. So what was he to do? So That was the point then. And I remember asking him in 2014 when I interviewed him basically what criteria do you select bass amps on when you're out gigging? He says, what we can get. So if I want Aguilar, I can't always get that at that time. And if I want EBS, I can't get that. So basically his tour manager would, when they were submitting gear requests, they would have like 5 or 6 bass brands that they put on a list and what they can get when they're out in Senegal or Cameroon or wherever they're playing. That's what they get. And so that's why sort of through 2000s, 2010s, when did he go to Mark Bass? Would have been about 2017, I think. 2016,
Yeah, around that.
2017. So during the 2000s, early 2010s, you'll see him on gigs with different stuff each night if they're moving from venue to venue, town to town. And that's just what the way it worked, really. He said, here's a list of what we want and can we have one of those?
Yeah.
And whatever turns up at the gig is what turns up. Albriano, gents, what do you think of the flex bass known as Fodera? They are extremely expensive, but everyone I know that owns one swears by them. Well, they wouldn't say they were crap, would they?
I've
What
actually
say
played
you?
a couple of them.
You do, yeah. You say your bit, and then I'll say mine.
And number one, it didn't make me sound like Victor Wooten at all. I find Fodera very much like things like Smiths and that sort of ilk, that they're a very sort of polite sounding thing and they sort of lack character. Brilliant.
I like
build.
that assessment.
Yeah.
I like that assessment.
Yeah.
I'd
It's
agree with
like Smiths and the other one, the top end Michael Tobias and things. Yeah. They're all sort of built well. They're actually cracking things, beautiful things, but the sound is just very, I don't know,
anemic.
normal. Bass.
No,
It's just
anemic's wrong
average.
because I've heard Smiths that have sounded thunderous.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know what you
true.
mean. It's like there's no
Yeah.
intrinsic
Yeah.
character that
Yes.
you'd hear it and go,
Yes.
wow, I've
Yes.
got to have one.
Same
People
as,
normally
for
buy these
instance,
instruments because there's someone famous that uses it
yeah,
rather than
that's right.
that's the sound I want.
Yeah.
That's my
Same
opinion.
as, for instance, an actual Ray has an actual sort of a really thick, chewy bottom end, and that sort of top end sort of, you know, sizzle to it, yeah, and a status sort of snaps and it howls, you know. But
yeah, so
they always
when
just seem very sort of, you know, I don't know, generic and too sort of, you know, polite almost.
I don't want to be rude for people that have bought them, but there is a
Yeah,
certain
true, yeah.
type of player, and this goes for musicians like guitarists, drummers, keyboard. There will always be something that is flavor of the month, and people get drawn to it like a moth to a flame without actually thinking that's the sound I want or it will make my playing sound like such and such.
Yeah.
Someone, it happened actually with EBS when EBS first came out. They became flavor of the month on Yahoo groups and various bass forums, and everyone went and bought it. And then they turn around and then something else comes out. So that thing gets sold immediately and they move to the next thing. And then TC Electronic come out. And so that last one, that goes as well. And I'm never convinced that once that starts happening, people are actually using their ears. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah,
and I
definitely.
think
That's right, yeah.
and I notice this more amongst, this is not derogatory to anyone, okay, but I notice this more between people who are, it's not derogatory, people who play for a hobby and an interest rather than working players.
Yes, yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And it is not meant derogatory at all.
Shall we call them have a go sort of heroes?
Well,
You know,
if you've got the money
nice
to buy
way.
these things, you want
it's
the
great.
nicest things you can have. But
Yeah.
if you don't know what your sound is, and look, it took me probably 7 or 8 years once I turned pro. So I'd already been playing 7 or 8 years before I turned pro, another 7 or 8 years after I turned pro to find my sound. And I never thought I actually found it until I put the empathy and the EBS stuff together, and then I'd found my sound. Some people buy stuff thinking it's going to create their sound, when in actual fact, it takes them further away from it.
Sound.
Yeah, and they end up with an instrument that's loaded with value, but they can't make it sound how they want it to sound. Maybe because the instrument doesn't do the sound that they hear. We all hear things differently.
Yeah, it's very
and so
true.
the bass sound I hear that I think is me and what I want to sound like, someone else will hear it and go, that's bloody horrible. That's really, no, I don't get it. But I can hear what I want, and I know the components to put that together to create that sound. So sometimes people will think or look at the price tag and think, well, if I'm spending that much money, it's going to push me on and move me down that tone road faster and quicker. In actual fact, it actually takes you further away.
It does.
Because you can't pinpoint the things you want to make the sound that you want to create.
Yeah, that's
if
right.
That makes sense.
Very true.
And the amount of times I've reviewed Foderas, the best one I ever played is that I thought was, wow, now I get it, was the cheapest one I ever played.
Yeah.
When we played a Matt Garrison that I think was about $8,000, and both me and the editor said, we don't get it. I don't get it. I don't see where $8,000 of building has gone. Where is the tone? Because I'm turning the dials and they keep saying a little goes a long way, but I'm not hearing actually much of a change, which is what you were saying about the Ken Smiths.
Yeah,
it's like
very true.
Like you say, they're very polite, and
yes,
I don't want to get in trouble with Chris May. Some overwaters can be like this, but I think with them it depends on the circuit and the pickups being matched with it. But
I've actually played many of these sort of newer ones, but I played an Overwater original in the late 80s, and that was phenomenal.
Right. I think the character of like the 2000s and 2010 Overwaters is what led to so many of them being used on West End shows. Because they don't get in the way of the rest of the band and the pit.
Yes.
And
blend in really well.
Yes, they blend in, and you can get a very, very pleasing, usable tone, but you won't get the extremes that you might get with a GB or a Status, for example.
Yeah.
So if you want that glassy top end and thunderous bottom end, and you're better off going down the GB route or the Status route than going for an Overwater, which won't give you that, but it'll still give you a great tone.
Oh yeah. Beautiful sound,
but going back to the Foderas, I mean, it became a thing where their prices just kept jumping and jumping and jumping. It's like, I don't see why that is any different to the bass you made 3 months ago that looks exactly the same with the same spec. And I know Bernie got a real bee in his bonnet over this, because he said, my basses are just as good as theirs. I can build anything that they build. Yet they seem to justify a $6,000 price tag. And as soon as I go over 3, people don't want to know. And I said, mate, it's the name. And your name ain't Fodera. That's the problem. Now, if you bought a Fodera back in the 80s or 90s, it would cost a fraction of what it cost in the 2000s.
Yep.
Because they weren't that name. They just weren't.
Right, yeah. Very true.
Bill. So I hope that answers that out. Bill Derbyshire, Richard, have you found a Rickenbacker yet? Here we go. Zuma, I'm bringing you on. There you go.
I have sort of taken a slight diversion, Bill, and I'm looking at a couple of instruments tomorrow, which are not Rickenbackers. You'll be glad to hear. So, there you go.
He'll get led down that road at some point, Bill. Don't you worry. And there's Andy Stratford as well.
Hi.
How you doing? All right.
Hi guys.
Evening,
Hello,
Andy.
Andy. You come on by audio.
You're really
That's all
quiet,
good.
Andy.
Hang on, let's see if I can edit his mic settings. I can.
Fine, yeah.
Keep talking, Andy.
Yeah, I'm on my Rodecaster Pro 2.
Oh yeah, that's very low.
It's okay.
You need to boost your level, sir.
We're in distance, isn't it?
I'll quickly rattle through a few more of these messages. Gareth, what are your thoughts on Sandberg Electra basses? Very good. Import parts and put together by Sandberg in Germany. I've reviewed a few. There should be one or two. Oh, here we go. There should be a couple of reviews already here on the channel. Don't know what you're doing. King Charles, I'm surprised Mark Bass haven't made a Mark King exclusive model. Yeah, me too. I thought they would have gone down that road by now, but clearly not. Maybe it is to do with the fact that he's using that caveman preamp. Maybe. I don't know. And that's a expensive bit of kit. Gareth, you played a Matt Garrison once. That's what I'm saying, and it sounded bland with no character.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Agreed.
$8 grand they were.
Mad, isn't it?
Mental. Bill Derbyshire. Yeah, okay, there we are. There's the pink bass man. Packed your case.
Evening, Jamie.
Hello, Rich. Hello, Zoom.
Hi.
Lovely to see you, sir. Just
Cheerio.
one quick question. Did you pack your single carrier bag containing 2 T-shirts and 1 sock?
No, because I won't use the sock for that purpose, and maybe a T-shirt just because.
You're actually, you see, meant actually to ask me why only the 1 sock.
These
the
things
headlock?
happen.
You always lose one.
Right. See?
I've already advised him to bring jeans, hoodies, probably jumpers, and a sou'wester.
Overcoats. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Gloves.
It's mad. We've had 5 months of great weather. You come over and it's gone horrid.
It has
Oh, isn't
changed.
it lovely how when that happens?
And the daft thing was, at the start of the week, Sunday was meant to be hot and sunny in Peterborough. It's not now. Thunder and lightning.
Ah,
Dang.
lovely.
I have asked the lady how that's going to go, and she hasn't replied to me yet. Isn't that wonderful?
We'll see how it all pans out. I think you've got echo cancellation turned off, Andy.
Yes, it's echoing hugely.
Or the loop back is on.
It's like a Mike Oldfield concept album.
Tubular bells.
Wow.
Tubular bells.
Wow. Which was written and recorded a mile down the road.
How about that?
There we go.
I will be back with you. Okay.
Gareth Harrison, there's one for sale locally. This is what we're talking about. The Sandberg, right? For $550. Is that a good price? That's fairly standard. Probably a little cheaper. Is it the Precision or the Jazz one? I can send you some reviews if you want, because I did a couple for the mag of Sandberg Electras. As we say up north, bring your big court. That's it, exactly. You might need it.
Bring your big court.
Good to see you. Yes. Now, what was I going to say to you? Right. Thursday. Right.
Yep.
So you land. Stu gets you to your hotel.
Yep.
Then you can message me en route to your hotel.
Yep.
And then I will come up to. So we're going to the gallery. Yes.
Yep. And then we're going to go all get our faces melted with a bit of curry.
Okay. So what I suggest is, once you're sort of heading towards the tube and what have you, you will have an idea what time you're going to get to your hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I suggest you message me en route, and I can come and meet you up in Camden. So Camden to where you're staying is not very far at all. You may end up walking. It's simple.
Can do that too.
And then I'll come and meet you. So the gallery shuts around 5:30. So really, we don't want to be getting there any later than about 3ish.
Okay.
Really. But it's like, your flight could get delayed. They might take you off for a bit of a search. You'd never know. Do you? Yeah. What's this pink strap for, sir? Yeah.
Well,
where are you
that's
going?
for a guy. That's for a guy in a car.
Yeah. So yes, that's what I would suggest on Thursday. Now, what time have you spoken to Jaydee guys? What's the
So
plan
they
with
said
that?
the curry
so I've left
houses
that
are
up to you to sort out.
right. That's dinner time. Is what Toby
Evening
said.
time.
Yes, evening
Right.
time.
Okay. So what time have you suggested to them that we're going to get to them?
Well, they said it was open as far as when we show up, so we can pretty much show up anytime.
Okay. Right. So once we're having curry on Thursday, I can message Bass Brothers and we'll have an idea what time we might get there, because by then we should know how these tube strikes are going to pan out.
Right.
Because you've got to get from where you're staying out here to where I am.
Mm-hmm.
So once we know what the tube is doing on Thursday, we can sit there while we're eating our curry and say, right, okay, there is going to be a tube service tomorrow, or no, there isn't.
Yes.
So we'll take that from there. So if we can fit in a Bass Brothers, or if you want to do Bass Direct or whatever, we can do that. And then off to Jaydee. So we're going to eat when they shut, what, 5 o'clock? Is that
Yeah,
generally?
the roundabout.
Yeah, okay, cool. And do you know, are they booking somewhere close to that, or is it on the other side of Birmingham?
No, I think they said it was close. I'll confirm with Toby.
Okay. Because parking is paramount here.
Of course, yeah.
You can park in Birmingham, there won't be anything left when you come back to get the car.
Right.
So if I can park at theirs and it stays there while we go and curry, that's great. But if we got to park in a public car park, we might be getting the old rickshaw
Evo.
back to
Right.
London. Yeah. Anyway. And then Saturday. Oh, what are your plans Saturday? Have you sorted that out yet?
We're still speaking about that one. I haven't decided if we're going to go down and go to Kent or I don't know yet.
Daft thing was, if you'd been here last weekend, I could have taken you there because I went
Ah,
past Ashford.
Because you had a gig, right?
Well, I had a gig on the north part of the Kent coast, but I could have gone down via Ashford and dropped you off.
I got you. Well, you know,
So-
the planning with the lady has done all the planning on the Sunday side, so, you know, sorted after that.
Now, didn't you want to take the JD you're buying to them in Brum? Was that not part of the plan?
No, because that JD they've already sorted.
Oh, okay, fine.
So
Okay.
it's
so that's going to come back with you and go back on the plane.
right. It's going to have its own little spot in the hold underneath. Yeah.
Splendid. Okay.
Yes, indeed. In the nice big red case. Yes.
Okay. Rock fan, you all are great. You're right. Yes.
Wow.
We are.
Okay.
How did you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, exactly. It's in the water. You check where the wind is, and that's Gareth Harrison, the jazz. Oh, the jazz of the Sandberg. Go for it, Gaz. For that money, they're really solid. In fact, I'm sure the one I did early on, not long after I started the channel. Let me just check. I'm sure that's an Electra 2. It was very early on in the life of this channel. Right, hold on. I'll find it. Anacondas. What's that? Mayonnaise. Bear with me a second. I'll know as soon as I see it. There we go. Sandberg Electra 2 TT4. Hold on. I'll give you a link. You can check it out. There we go. Here you go, ma'am. Get your laughing gear around that. Sahib, indeed. Welcome. We're talking bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, anything to do with bass. Not bass, that's fishing. We don't do that. We're doing basses.
And
So
occasional
talk about
curry.
basses, that's all good.
Curry indeed.
Yes.
You guys make me
Right
hungry.
then. So what's the topic of conversation then?
And can I point out, we're not making a list, gentlemen, okay?
No. Listen,
No list.
I think we've already got that. I think we've already got a list.
Yeah.
Something about maximum bass.
Oh, yes. Well, basically, originally when I wrote the title, I said, how can you cram so much bass into one live chat? And then the AI thing said, why don't you try this title instead?
Maximum.
So I did. Maximum bass.
Well, the answer is compression.
That's it. And a lot of it.
Squeeze it tightly.
That's it. Are there any new bass purchases in the parish?
Yes.
Anyone bought anything?
No. Oh,
What have you bought?
Zuma's bought something.
So,
Details.
check this out. Hopefully it'll focus in on it.
Oh, what's that?
You see that?
It's
I
got
can
knobs
see
on
it, but it's really small on here, so.
Ah,
The eyes
Does
aren't
it
what
get-
they were.
Does it get better? Or does it get out of
Oh yeah,
focus?
Power EQ.
Let me just
Power EQ, yeah.
into
Yeah.
What's the brand?
full screen mode.
It's not Empress, is it?
So yeah, it's the Empress.
Oh,
so
it is. Yeah.
I was looking at the blue one, which is the
The
first.
compressor.
It's another EQ, but this is.
Okay.
I wanted to get that one, and then they kind of read my mind because then they released a bass specific. I guess the frequencies are just a little bit more tailored to what might be useful on bass guitar, and I just said, "What the heck? I've always wanted to try it. Now there's a bass specific one, so it's not a cheap pedal, but I figured that it would be nice to experiment with it. I wanted to experiment with it and just see what I could do specifically with really getting really tight Q settings and boosting in particular, and seeing if
is it too polite, or is it too subtle, or does it work well?
To be honest with you, I've just started playing with it, and these speakers I have here are just more like my work setup. So I'm going to take it upstairs to my studio where I have my nicer monitors and really give it a go. But when you push the Q, so it's giving you that real tight Q, it obviously becomes a little more characterful, because then you're kind of boosting a very specific range of frequencies. So I want to see how close I can get to certain things, because I have these theories in my head, these ideas about, nothing sounds like a Stingray, but if we boost, 7K at this particular frequency, maybe we'll get there. And oddly enough, I was just watching a video this morning where this guy was just mixing a song. It was a video about, produced like a pro, Warren Hewart, and he was, so anyway, he's showing this guy, and he put a P bass on. I'm not kidding you. It was just your bog standard P bass sound, and he put it through some like tape plugin, not like a big Studer tape. I mean like an audio cassette plugin, and he was just playing around with things, and all of a sudden, it sounded like a Stingray. It's like, wait, did he switch to another track? What happened there? So it was just boosting this. It was creating this resonant peak that I swear made it sound like a Stingray. So that made me think of this pedal. So that's why I grabbed it, because I said, maybe that's a good topic for conversation. Because, I mean, when you think about it, all bass preamps are enhancing or maybe, subtracting a certain range of frequencies, maybe more than one. And that's what gives it that character, right? Just like a pickup is always got that resonant peak somewhere, and you can tame it down with capacitors and such, but it's just all about playing with the frequencies.
The only thing I would say about that is that with Stingrays, so much of it is about the pickup and where it is.
Yeah.
And Lord knows Leo Fender did enough experimentation with where should that pickup go, and he was probably working with milliliters.
With the screwdriver
all carved out. We'll take another bit off there, just move it back, a bit more, and eventually they found that place to be where he and the people who were testing it, that's where they wanted it to be. But so much of where the sound goes from where that pickup is placed, and when you play over it or behind it or in front of it, I don't know how changing resonant curves and peaks and transients and all that is going to affect the actual physical sound properties, because based on where that pickup is. So if you've got a P pickup and it's slap bang in the middle between the bridge and the neck, that can't be translating the same string response that the humbucker in the bridge would do. I don't know. Jamie?
It's complex. It's highly complex, right?
If it was that easy, other people would have done it.
But do you remember the Line 6 thing? Did any of you try that Line 6 bass that had the rotary
Variax? The Variax.
The
Variax.
Interesting.
It was kind of it's like the Roland V bass. See, the Roland V bass was meant to be the slayer of all of this. So this was before Line 6. And the idea was you put that Roland pickup in, and it would model every bass using that controller and everything else. And it didn't. That was their advertising line, but it didn't do it, because I remember seeing someone demoing it, and someone in the crowd went, make it sound like a jazz bass, and he couldn't do it. And it was like, right, so that your whole claim has now just been completely debunked because everyone was looking at, certainly session guys were looking at it and go, well, I don't need to bring 5 basses to a session anymore. I can just bring this Roland box, my favourite bass with that pickup in the bridge, and away we go.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Totally.
it's hard. If someone came out with that, we'd all buy it. But here we are with like collections of basses because I can't get all those tones out of one instrument.
Yeah. The pickup placement is
That's a
the
fundamental.
most important
because
thing.
it's
That's
a
the most
physical
important thing.
Yeah.
For sure. I think the reason I think of the Stingray preamp a lot is because when I've played 2 pickup Stingrays, the preamp is so colored that it just all sounds the same. I know there's a variation. I know the neck pickup doesn't sound like the bridge pickup, but even you play a bongo where they're not exactly in the same position, it still sounds like a Stingray to me. Like that peak it's giving, everything is so pronounced, you know. So it depends on the preamp too, you know, how much is it imparting on the sound. I mean, some preamps are kind of just dull, right? They're just like flat. They're just like, you might as well just have a little EQ pedal like this, you know.
Well, a few weeks, months ago, we were talking about, there was a review I did of a Roscoe that Bass Direct got in, and they spec'd it as a custom order, and they threw every bell and whistle at that bass. So all the top tone woods, fancy top, fancy this, and I think it was an Fodera preamp, and I can't remember the pickups, but they were like £1,000 pickups. It had every possible custom option. This bass was horrible. It stank.
Oh no!
It had a honky, woody, bitey gnarliness. You couldn't get rid of it. You couldn't EQ it out. You boosted the bottom end. It didn't matter. All that happened was you ended up with a more clunky sounding mid-range. You wanted a slappy top end with like a glassiness. No, it just sounded like someone banging 2 dustbin lids together. Clang, clang, clang. It was like, and this cost how much? It was like $4,000. And sometimes that, and then 3 issues later in the mag, we had a Roscoe Century, which I think had simple pair, Bartolini, soap bars, simple Bartolini preamp. The thing wiped the floor with the $4,000.
Yeah.
And this Century bass was like 1,200 quid. A million times better. Played better. Sound was focused. You'd made an adjustment. You could hear the adjustment. It was pleasant. It was flexible. It had loads of different tones. The Fodera thing on that expensive one, I couldn't find anything that I would want to use it for.
It's just a bad combo.
Well, again, it's just throwing
Too
money
much.
at something. We go for all the custom order. So literally all the timbers are fighting the preamp and the fingerboard, and nothing worked. There was no good combination there. And then, like I say, the cheap option was everything that bass should have been. So that happens. That happens. Chris Morey, guys, the best investment I made for playing live in 2024 was the JHS Punchline preamp. It was limited to 1,000 units, offered exclusively by Sweetwater. An incredible unit and very responsive. It emulated the signal chain used by the Wrecking Crew, EQ, amp, sim, compressor, drive and DI. Extremely easy to dial in. I suggest you keep hold of that box, Chris Morey. It could become a
I have a
collector's
story about that.
There we go. Let's
Go
have
for
it.
it.
Go on.
I have a pretty good relationship with my Sweetwater. What do they call him? Your
Candyman. Your Candyman.
the
Agent.
Candyman.
Andy, man.
That's pretty good. You know,
Has he got a meat cleaver hook?
Sugar daddy.
Sugar
sales
daddy, there it is.
engineer. That's what they call him. The sales engineer.
Sales
Candyman
engineer.
sounds better.
Yeah, seriously, Candyman sounds way better. I'm gonna call him that. Let's see if he doesn't get pissed. Anyway, so I mentioned that pedal to him because I was late to the party. I said, "Man, I sure wish you guys had one." And a week late, because this was way after they had sold out. And a week later, he says, "I had a
good to see it.
I flagged it as an alert, and something came up today because it came in as a return, and so I bought it. And when I got it, it's actually one that doesn't have a serial number because they sent it out for review. So it's like a prototype, but it's the same thing. So I got one. So yeah, I agree. It's a very nice sounding pedal. It's kind of like a channel strip because you have your compression and you have your EQ, and you can turn the amp sim on and off. Distortion, well, overdrive. You can give it some overdrive too. The distortion is okay, and you got to keep it subtle. And
Unless you're me.
well, I like it. I like to turn it up sometimes, but I don't know, wasn't my flavor. But anyway, yeah, it's a pretty damn good sounding little unit, big unit. It's like this big.
Yeah, I've actually got
pretty
a
large.
new X one. The one designed by Melvin Lee Davis, is it?
Davis.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What is it called?
It's
Nux.
just a new X, NU-X.
Oh, NU-X. Okay,
Yeah.
let me look it up.
Yeah.
NU-X.
Yeah,
Is that the
Davis.
blue
type
one?
on NU-X Melvin Lee Davis preamp.
Wasn't he the
pedal.
bass player for Shaka Khan?
He was, yeah.
Oh, I see it.
Right.
Ooh.
I think he came after Andrew Goucher.
Yeah,
Zuma's doomed.
Beat after
Suddenly,
beats here,
Sweetwater's on the
looking for
line
your
here with us,
t-shirts.
and
yeah.
that one does look pretty good, but I think there's one that I want more than that one. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah.
The DSM Humboldt Electronics Simplifier Bass Master Preamp. That one.
Simplifier.
That's
Yeah. I don't think I can put Sweetwater
Complicated
links in the
type
chat.
of
It'll probably pull them
simplifier.
out, right?
never
I'm
knew.
gonna send it just directly to you, Mike. I mean, you can see if it's worth
that.
sharing. But that thing looks amazing. And
Yes.
very
While it's
much-
quietish, can we all say, the panel, can we all say hi to Beat After Beat?
hello, Beat.
Hello,
Zuma's
Beat.
T-shirts.
Hello,
He's come
Beat.
for Zuma's T-shirts.
Yeah, he's always after my t-shirts, but I keep my doors locked, so
Well, there you go.
nothing he's gonna get from me.
There we
All he's
are.
going to get from me is a rush of tongue.
Yeah. What about you, Andy? What's he gonna get from you? Oh, Andy muted himself. Oh, there he is.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
level 42.
Very nice.
Well
There
played.
we are.
Oh,
Tour starts soon, actually. Let's have a look.
Yes.
at the dates.
Tour starts in late September, early October, doesn't it?
Earlier than
World
that, mate.
Machine 40.
Is
Earlier
Wow.
than that.
Yes.
Starts, 18th of September. Aberdeen.
All right.
Aberdeen, where I used to live.
Nice.
Yeah, how many dates is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Hey, Hamish.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
You'll have
17,
had your
18,
tea.
19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Now you're going to make me start
32
thinking of a
dates.
TV show called Still Game.
32 dates. then.
No, it was actually a Radio 4 comedy called
He's
it's
after
gone
your
now
car,
as well.
Zuma. He's after your car. He says he doesn't want the shirts.
yeah.
He stepped
Nice.
up his game. He stepped up his game.
Nice.
It's
Nice
in a secret
Mustang.
layer.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. It doesn't get
what's
parked at
that?
my house.
Ollie, 26th of October, new theatre. Yeah, I might be there for that. I did get offered a gig. I haven't taken it yet. I may or may not do the gig, but I may go to that Oxfordshire. We will see. I
There
know
you
I'm
go.
definitely at Portsmouth on the 13th.
Oh yeah, really? I'll see you there then. I'll be there.
Be taking my sister. And there's about 4 or 5 other dates. There's like Watford, which would suit me perfectly, which falls on a gig date. Aylesbury, which is 20 miles up the road, that falls on a gig date. Croydon,
That's
that falls on
a
a gig date.
Nottingham one, isn't there, as well?
Yeah, that's 150 miles away.
Not for me.
And then
Time to
there's-
hop
no,
the
not
fast
for you.
rail.
And then Albert Hall is good because I think that's a Wednesday. So yeah, I'm on to me, mate. I'm
Jamie,
on
are
to
you
my mate.
playing with friend?
Say again.
Jamie,
Yes.
Can
Oh, we can't hear your mic, Andy.
you hear me now?
That's better.
Yeah, is Jamie coming up to do any 42
No.
gigs? Oh,
No, he'll be gone. You'll be back. We'll have
I'll be back
deported
then.
him.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
that's
shame.
right. Deported
That's right.
him.
Mike's going to
You've
shift
said
me
it.
to the curb immediately.
That's it.
I've
Doesn't
eaten all
get
his
out the
cake.
gutter.
I've eaten
Doesn't
all
get
his
out the
cake.
gutter. No, you aren't going anywhere near the cake. Beat after beat, Zumas has a purple charger. Does he now?
It's a challenger. He keeps
Purple.
he keeps getting that wrong.
Poi-
Plum
poi-
crazy purple.
Yeah, man.
It matches your shirt, to be honest.
It does.
Chris,
Hang on.
Zuma, listen
Was it
to the
a-
live.
Was it a Challenger you
Yeah,
showed me?
same car.
Oh,
Yeah, that's when I was changing the radiator.
Yeah, yeah.
Chris
that was it,
Morey
yeah.
says, Zuma, listen to the live demos of the Humboldt. It's like a punchline, but it's small and has features which takes things to the next level. Unfortunately, the controls are not very responsive.
No,
That's a plus and a minus. That's a plus and a minus at the same time.
It is.
Small and has features, lovely. Not responsive. Oh, well.
Well, exactly. What's the point?
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay.
Beat after beat, you need Mike's shirt to go with your car. This is my Rotor Sound shirt.
Yeah,
Look at that.
that's great.
There's loads of them. Loads.
We
of
could
different
dye your hair the
colours.
same color as well.
Not me.
You didn't
maybe
know
Mike.
me when I had
How
blonde
far you
hair.
want to go, Zuma? Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I see. So you're gonna be the pink man. I'm gonna be the purple man.
That's right.
That's it.
No, I could probably get away with that at
I'm
my work.
shiny.
The shiny man.
The glare.
The glare.
Chris,
Right.
That means you have
exactly.
to
It's
keep
the
your car
exact
super
opposite
clean.
of punchline. Yeah. While they're having a chat, it's 10 to 10. It's live chat 129 here in Brooks's Place Corner, coming to you live from London town, the UK. Richard's about to keel over coughing. Please give the video a thumbs up if you'd be
Pinto.
so kind. And feel free to share the video out to
There
social
it is.
media. We're broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube. What the hell's he got? Oh, Vimto.
Vimto,
Facebook,
yes.
YouTube, and Instagram tonight. So if you're watching on any of those channels, welcome. Good to see you. If you want to talk about bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, bass accessories, cake, curry, pink beards, pink straps, all of that.
Purple
we're
Challengers,
covering
yes.
that. Yeah, any of that. That's all good. If you want to sell Richard Rickenbacker, he will
Right.
talk to you.
That's right.
It's all good.
Have Jaydee will travel.
Apparently so.
Right.
Apparently so.
Right.
Yeah.
I got a funny one for
actually,
you guys.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
come back to that.
Pause that one.
I need you to talk to Ollie. So
Yeah.
Ollie's got issues with the JD that he had refretted. He's still there,
Okay.
Ollie. We might need you to open up the lines of communication with the JD bunch because
Yes,
if he
indeed.
tries to ring them, he's not going to get through. If he tries to
No.
email, they're not going to respond. They've refretted his bass. The frets are really thin and low down, like there's not much material. And that neck is buzzing all over.
So
Now,
I seem to remember, too, that the neck had...
he's
There he
here.
is.
He's here, so you can talk to him.
Okay, Ollie. So I seem to think, remember something that one had the neck also shaved, so it's thinner. Ollie, you have to tell me if I'm right on this one, because I seem to remember something about it being the neck was skinnier than the others because someone had done something to it. So if that's right or wrong, chime in on the chat and tell us. If the frets are very low, that's a fair question. If it was refretted and they're very low, that's a really ferocious question, because those frets have a lot of meat on them. That means time to ask a question if they did it for you already. So yeah, we might be having a red alert moment any time now, I think.
I was thinking that. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what or who he's referring to. Sahib, you've got one conversational gambit left. If you come on my channel and you're rude and obnoxious, you're out of here. So you make your next sentence a good one or you're gone.
Or make it a bad one
don't-
and we'll catch you later. Peace. Yes.
Yeah, rock on, baby.
Yeah. So Ollie, give me some parameters if they did a refret for you. Was that the one where the neck was shaved before
It's the lava
before you
red.
got your
It's
hands
the-
on it, all that?
The lava red.
Yeah.
Chris Morey, Mike, I have a specific question for you about downloading video content for YouTube. Let me know if more appropriate to ask offline. No, post it here, Chris. It's all good.
I got something to say about that after Jamie's done.
Okay. Well, Ollie just said the finish was sanded off, but other than that, thickness was standard, very thin frets and pretty buzzy. I would try to reach out and ask a question because, I mean, I guess it depends. Are you comparing the frets to what was in it prior, or are you comparing it to another bass? Because I can tell you just by putting my hands on what I've got here, the Jaydee frets on mine are medium thickness frets as opposed to like my Attitude bass. And if I reach over to the Rickenbackers, it's pretty similar to the Rickenbacker frets.
Well, I'm looking here at my Jaydee and turn the other way, and I'm looking at the Attitude. The Attitude has got frets like rails.
Oh yeah,
like train rails. The
Yep.
Jaydee is a far politer, shallower fret material.
So that.
Whereas
Now the other thing is
you got to remember the Attitude is built like a tank to like
it
you're
takes
going
a
into
beating.
battle.
It
Whereas
takes a
the
beating.
Jaydee
Yes.
the Jaydee is a little more polite and svelte.
Well, the Rickenbackers have kind of the similar frets. If I go across the room and touch each bass, they're about the same as the Rickenbacker frets. So
Right.
Richard still needs a Jaydee first, but we're going to move on from that. So
In your ideal world, Ollie, what style of frets do you want on that? Are you going for mediums? Are you going for jumbos? Are you going for mandolin style, which is what Lee Sklar does?
Yeah.
are you going to go with steel frets as opposed to nickel, perhaps?
Yeah, don't go for my personal advice. Don't go for nickel. So, and I know Lauren probably won't like this. A friend of mine who has played for some very big names bought an Enfield, and he bought it second hand. And the guy who'd owned it and only owned it for about 6 to 8 months couldn't get on with it. My mate bought it, took it to Charlie Chandler's. Now, Charlie Chandler's is a fairly well-known place for having guitars set up. Bryan Adams, Prince, a lot of rock guys used to go to Chandler's to have their guitars set up and worked on. He wanted that Enfield refretted. Chandler looked at it and laughed. He said, "What are you laughing at?" He said, "This is the worst, cheapest fret material I've ever seen." He said, "You don't use this. This is like done on the cheap." And literally the frets, that they couldn't have been older than a year, and some of them were just totally gone.
Too soft, huh?
Too soft.
Too soft. Yeah. So he had it redone with steels. So unless you know that you want nickel fret wire, just go for steel. It will save you a whole load of grief. It will give you more meat. So if you have to do fret dressing, crowning or whatever, you've got room to play with. If you go with nickel, it's a softer material. The strings will eat away at it a bit harder.
Well, no,
Most of my basses have got steel fret wire. Let's go with that.
Yeah. So he says his like mandolin frets, not a whole lot of material to level. So Mike, if you look at your Attitude, since you're speaking of the tank, if you look at the last 5 frets, they're actually smaller size than they are the rest. So if you look at those frets and you look at the Jaydee frets, those are very similar.
Yeah, but the Jaydee's fret edges are far more rounded, whereas the Attitudes aren't. Not that they're uncomfy, they're not biting, they're not overhanging.
Right.
They're not rounded off like the Jaydees are.
Yeah, makes sense. So I mean, so he says he's sort of a medium size, but not overly bothered so long as it's not too buzzy. Well, part of the buzzy could be your setup, and if you put the 3090s on them, it's going to change it up a wee bit because you've changed the kind of the stress and tension on the neck itself.
Right.
So the buzzy bit may not be because of thin fret wire. It may be just because it's trying to decide if it wants to love the 3090s or tell you to step off. One of the two. It's possible.
Okay. The joys of frets and fret wire. We can write lists.
Yeah.
We can talk about fret wire. I'm easy.
This is why we go fretless.
But the thing is, you think this is extremely dull and boring, but actually, it's extremely important to how the instrument plays. You pick the wrong fret wire, or something that just doesn't work with that neck. You've also got to remember that the quality of the fret wire and how the refretting is done has quite a significant impact in how the wood reacts for the fingerboard and the neck.
Very true.
Because if the frets aren't right and they're not seated right, those strings are just going to buzz regardless.
Like crazy.
So the quality of the fret wire, the fret job, how it's done, how those frets are crowned is imperative to the playability of that instrument. And Lord knows the amount of basses I've had, and expensive ones that came through for review, and the fret job was crap. and it made the bass either bad or unplayable. And if you've got a thing buzzing away, you can't charge $4,000 for that, you know. But the fret job is everything. It really is. Chris, you're asking a question about YouTube stuff. Your bass center video includes live level 42 video with no audio, correct? How did you download to use when creating your video? I didn't. I've got a video capture from the DVD. So I've already got that on my hard drive, and I just cut out a segment that I wanted. I put the video into the video editor, found the little chunk I wanted, cut it out, put it in my video, and got rid of the rest of the file. There are apps you can download for downloading YouTube videos. Alternatively, you can do what Rich does and sign up for YouTube Premium, and then there's the option underneath every video to download. That becomes active once you sign up for YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
But like I say, the way I did it was I already had a video capture of the live level 42 DVD. I just put that video into my video editor, captured the bit I wanted, and put it in.
Yeah.
That was it. Simple.
I would
Ollie
say, by the way, to Ollie, that he's actually saying he's actually running it on 40 to 100, so not too bad. I've just tried as an experiment, put a little bit of extra relief in.
Like an eighth of a turn, literally an eighth of a turn, something very minute.
And it'll probably actually cure it.
Some of them don't like to be flat or close to flat. Some of them want to have that, hi, I'm a tree, let's go this way.
Curve, that's right,
yeah. Unless you're a status, of course, and then they say piss off.
But, you set up and they're done. It's like someone turning a key in a lock, and it's just there. And other bases you will fight against for the whole time you own that base.
Yes, very true.
And you don't want to get rid of it because it's a great bass and it sounds good, and but you will be at it all the time because you'll know it's capable of better, but it ain't doing it for me. And then there comes the point after a number of years of that, are you going to carry on or are you going to get rid? But it's just the way it is. You know, anything made with wood is a constantly evolving material. You know, it may not be attached to the tree anymore, but it's fibrous.
It thinks it is. That's why you get those necks that are bird's eye that do this. The bird's eye necks are excellent at going out balmy because they still think they're part of the tree. So,
I've got some messages here from you, Andy Stratford. You nearly bought a TC Electronic Plethora 5 pedal. Has anyone used one? Isn't that something you've got, Rich?
I own one. It's absolutely phenomenal. Yes.
Really good. Yeah, because I did have a Line 6 Helix. It's really too complicated, too expensive.
Yeah. The actual Plethora is actually simple to the point of you can join it via a USB-C cable to, of course, your actual phone.
Oh, really?
And you actually just load the actual prints into it. It's really easy.
Yeah, because I've always been a fan of. I've always been a fan of the TC Electronic FX pedals, and
it's
just having one small box, which does
absolutely. On, of course, 2 or 3 tracks, I use Mark King's patch, the Vortex flanger sound, which he called the Sweet Minger.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember when the TC Electronic pedals first came out. I love the Hall of Fame as well. Is the delay and flashback delay and brilliant. Just having it all in one box.
Mike.
Yes, mate.
Can you send me another link to my phone, please?
For what the
so
invite?
I can get Matt on
email.
Email or
you should just be able to use the one I sent you earlier.
Oh, Okay,
You
then.
can use it as
Yeah.
many times as you like. I'll send it again.
Not a problem. I shall use it then in that case.
Yeah, it's not a one-off. It's
Oh, right, I
basically the
see.
same. It's the same
Got it.
link.
Yeah.
Here we go. Ollie, it's strung with 4000. Neck's got a little bit of relief, not dead straight. It's set up pretty well. Yeah. Like you say, there's not a lot of fret material. That's why I don't understand why they've done that. Because they would have known if they've used shallow fret-wise, it's only going to be a problem. You're going to keep coming back with it. So I don't know what's going on there. Chris, I have premium. Download option seems to have disappeared. I don't know then. I don't have premium, so I just know that option was only there if you had premium previously. Ollie Bowen, I'm not sure how Jaydee does their fretwork, but to me it seems like they've leveled the fingerboard, then just hammered the fret straight in, then no leveling, just cleaned up the ends.
The only way to
So I
sort
think
that.
we maybe need to have a chat. So if you could open the lines of communication. Yes, Zuma, knock knock. Oh yes, good, well done. So that's exactly what that's for. Well done.
I don't know how to do what Rich does, where he just kind of goes away, but he doesn't really go away.
That's where you mute the
he
camera and
takes
mute your
himself
line.
off camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't. What I clicked was stop mic cam, but I guess I should just stop just the camera. Does that work?
Yeah.
Try it and see. If you disappear, we'll know.
Okay.
We'll be
check
able
this
to
out.
hear you.
Right. Well, you can still chat. Yeah.
There you go.
You can hear me, but you can't see me.
Correct.
Right. You're magically
that
in the
doesn't
air.
mean you do rude stuff off camera because we'll hear it.
We don't do
Bound,
corn concerts like that.
No. If I give the neck any more relief, I can't get the saddles low enough. It's not going well, is it? I've got the bass pretty well set up. I think, Ollie, speak to Jamie, swap details, let Jamie convey what you need to do, and he'll open up that line of communication with Jaydee. I think.
Yep. And then, of course, if you're coming to Peterborough, Ollie, if you're coming to Peterborough, bring it with you.
And then you can have a chat with them. I think you need to give them the option of making it right.
Yep.
And if they say, no, we're happy with that work, then I can't see giving you a refund. But
I can't bring 2 cases home.
No.
Are the
They're not
Jaydee
going to
boys
do
going
anything.
on Sunday?
Say again, Andy?
Sorry. Are the Jaydee boys going on Sunday?
As far as I know.
Unlike.
I don't
are
know.
they?
I think at least Toby, I think he said he was going to pop in. I don't know.
Okay.
Right.
But if they're not going to do anything about that, Ollie, you may end up having to just grit your teeth and bear it and go get it done at the gallery. But if you go to the gallery, speak to Martin, speak to John, tell them I sent you, leave it with them for a couple of weeks. It will come back. It will be good. But with them, you can have a face-to-face discussion as to what fret material you want, what type of wire, how you want the camber, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
They'll do it. That's
Now,
how they work.
To Ollie's next comment, he said he always has felt his bass was a bit of a strange one, huge tuning pegs, and a very slightly underset neck. Let me speak to the tuning pegs. The original West German Schallers, the M4s, I think it is. They don't make them anymore. So they had to come up with a solution. So the new ones actually have a larger peg, and that's what they're using now because the original ones, they're no longer. So the tuning peg thing would have been someone would have had to have replaced them along the way if they're large, unless they are not Schallers. If there's something else, then someone along the way got a jubbly about it and decided to make the holes bigger. Very simple.
Mooski, hi. I don't know who you are. Not seen you here on the channel before. Be very welcome. We're talking bass guitars, my man.
Is the friend I was talking about earlier.
Oh, Matt.
Moo.
Hey.
It's here.
Moowood.
And,
Moowood. Hey, Matt.
Absolutely, Moowood. Yeah, that's right. And Moo owns the FPVR.
Is he also the same Matt that owns Jaydee #1?
I don't know.
That would be Thomas Boyle, unless he sold it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right, Ollie's done that. Russell Zorner, good to see you. Drive by, like, hope everyone's doing okay. Cheers, Russ. Yeah, we're good. Beat after beat. Zuma's had to see if his car was still safe in the garage. He's got it in his trousers. That's,
That's
Chris,
quite a large
my
pair
hoodie.
you've got there.
Yeah. Your
Trousers,
photos
that
in the
is.
video are also amazingly clear. Any suggestions on how to achieve such photo clarity? No. I basically just saved I went searching for the videos, the photos I needed for the video. So when I do videos like that, I've got the audio. It's an interview video. So as subjects and topics of discussion come up, I then suddenly think, I need a photo of that. I need a photo of that. So if it's Bass Center related, it's all on their website. There's nothing else from them that I went anywhere else for. Those are all photos from their website. Regarding, if you go into Google and you're searching for stuff, loads of online photos now, WebPs. You can't use those as photos. They're not available. Basically, websites are using that format to stop people from downloading the photos and content on their website. So you really got to stick with JPEGs and pings.
Or you can just screen grab them. That's what I do.
Well, there's that. Yeah, I've done that as well.
Yeah.
So in that, just do a print screen. Go into your graphic editing application, press paste, the picture comes up. But the problem with that sometimes is the granularity can be a bit average.
Yeah. I wanted to tell Chris 2 related things, if I could have a moment. That download thing with YouTube Premium, I don't think it was really intended so that you had a file you could play with. I think it was something like, let's say you want to watch this hour-long video, and you're going to travel, so you download it, let's say to your phone. That way, when you're traveling, you're not dependent on whether you get Wi-Fi or you have weak signal, or maybe you have a plan that doesn't have unlimited data. I've never been able to download it and actually find the file somewhere, and I think that's only available on mobile too.
It kind of defeats the object, really.
Yeah, it's more like save it for later, but pre-download it so you don't have to stream it. I think that's what it's for.
In that case, you'll need to use one of those apps I've suggested,
right, that
Chris.
you mentioned.
There are loads. There's loads. If you Google it, there's loads of different apps. I've used a few. Those two seem to be the most reliable without putting viruses and malware on my machine. But
it's like a cat
trying
and mouse
to get a
game.
definitive answer. Yeah. And the better apps want you to pay for them.
Want you to
it's
pay,
whether you want to pay for it. So.
And the only other thing I wanted to tell Chris was to just be a little careful with it, because I had this one incident because I'm a glutton for punishment. Not only did I use copyrighted audio, I used what I found out to be copyrighted video as well. So the video can get you in trouble with copyright as well.
Whoops.
And I basically deleted all the audio from that video. And then I realized, oh, it's not the audio, it's the video. And there was this tiny, like 10-second clip of an entire music video that they just did not want me to share. And I had to cut the video out. So just be a little
Welcome to the world of copyright, which carries on from last week's discussion.
Yeah, and the video is far less problematic. I rarely get hits on the video. I'm not showing like the whole, like a whole movie or anything like that. I think they give you a lot more leeway with the video, but just be a little careful about the video.
Beat After Beat says he loves us. Well done, Beat After
lovely.
Beat.
Back to
Buy
you.
a
Cheers.
We love you too.
Buy
What
a
a
t-shirt or a
guy.
cap. Get a cap.
Buy a t-shirt.
Well, no, you laugh. Someone in the US bought a load of merch overnight. I'm very pleased.
Yeah, it's good.
We eat this week. We can eat this
No,
week.
no. I think it's a good idea, but that's how
More
we respond
curry,
with.
more
You like us?
curry.
Buy something.
Right,
I don't.
absolutely,
Well,
yes.
exactly. I get people who go, "I'm not paying for your channel. Oh, I'm not super chatting." Oh. Well, buy a t-shirt then. You got the t-shirt then.
Totally.
There's buy a Mark King quote t-shirt, or a Chris Squire quote t-shirt, or a Lee Sklar. The Lee Sklar one looks fab because it's blue and yellow, and if you go for like a charcoal grey coloured t-shirt, it looks great.
Now, since we're on the topic of t-shirts, I'm
sir.
a real picky bastard when it comes to this stuff.
Never. I can't
How
believe that.
At least you're not a
soft are
cheeky
these-
bastard.
Exactly. How soft are the shirts? Because I hate buying shirts that
Well,
are.
if you
that
hold
are
on a
scratchy.
moment, I'll tell you exactly. Shut up, you don't know. Right, hold on. Right, so basically, Spreadshirt use loads of different T-shirt brands, And when I go in it's been a while since I've done it, but when you go in and add a new design or whatever, when you start adding the design to the products, there's literally new ranges of t-shirts and t-shirt manufacturers all the time. So some, in fact, let me go in. God, I hate signing in because I don't do it very often.
Our sweet
right, there we
Stacy
go.
says Bella Canvas shirts. Those are really soft.
They're
Yeah,
soft.
they're good.
Okay, and that's
They're
great.
good.
Yep.
I don't want that. I want to go to that. Here we go. Designs, and I can see all the different. Yeah, all right. I don't need all that. Designs. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, crikey. Right. All products. So if I go to t-shirts, so men's t-shirts, okay. There's a standard men's t-shirt. It's a men's premium organic t-shirt. It's a men's premium organic t-shirt with a V-neck. There are Stanley and Stella Crafter unisex t-shirts. There is Slim Fit t-shirt. The base quote ones are premium organics, I think. Men's Slim Fit. Men's breathable t-shirts. Unisex tri-blend t-shirts by Bella and Canvas. That's the one Stacey's
So
talking
that
about.
that might be the hot ticket for me.
But some of them are Gildan, some are Fruit of the Loom. There's just so many. All I can say, if you go into the description box, click on one of the links, probably the US one for you.
Yeah, I've looked at the store actually.
Have a look at and as you go through. One thing I would say, for the women's t-shirts, there is far more choices, different cuts, different shapes, different styles. The men tend to have about 10 different types, but there are certain products that I've created where they go into like the sports shirts almost, and they're cut a bit differently. I'm just scrolling down here, see what I can see, because I haven't been in to look at this for a while. Men's Gildan heavy t-shirt.
Those are like Harley Davidson shirts, Zoom.
Yeah.
They're rigid. Those are the ones that like you can put through the war and they'll never fall apart.
Yeah. There's a unisex poly cotton shirt. There's a men's functional t-shirt, whatever that is. Jacko.
Functional.
Is there a Jacko? Is that a brand? I guess that's
Good
like
one.
Gildan. Jacko, which is like it's got like a nylon-y look to it. Yeah, there's just a whole load. All I can say is if you have a look through there, the quote t-shirts I kind of did only with certain colours, so dark colours, so like a dark navy blue, charcoal grey. No pink ones. No gaylords around here. Charcoal grey, black. But I think I just kept the quote shirts to t-shirts and mugs. I didn't do it across any of the other products, but all the other things, so like the Brooks's Brace Corner branded stuff, I've just run that across all the products and what people want to buy. And if someone sees something and they go, I'd like that, but I want it on that shirt, they only have to say, and I can go in and create that. It takes like 3 minutes. And then I put it up in the store. So,
right.
You know, if someone says, I want an orange t-shirt, but I want it on a Gildan shirt, and I want it to have this, that, and the other, and I want something on the arm, I can create that.
Cool.
But I just need people to say it. That's they have to tell me that's what they want, and now I can create that. Richard talking to Moo. There we go. Yeah, very nice to be here. You're very welcome. The FPPR was sold by Andre Simmer, my mate. I've known him for
What's the name from the past?
25 years. Level 42 email digest. He was on there back in '94 when I was.
And now it falls into the where is it now file.
I've got some email. Well, I said before, I've got emails from around the time of 9/11.
Is
From that.
Morgan Russo still the Auto Web guy? Yeah, he's still doing it, is he?
He fell on his feet with that, so he's been doing that 27 years.
Has he still got the Star Child or not?
Mark's got it.
Mark's got it. He sold it back to
Yeah,
him.
I thought he had.
He's got the Wembley base 0002.
He's got my Stingray.
That one too.
Well, Well,
Because I knew he was building the collection, and I said I'd rather it went to some. Because I had a guy that I used to know on the south coast that wanted to buy that, and he kept offering me more and more money. And I thought, no, I'd rather it went to Morgan because it's with the rest of the collection. So, yeah, he's got the Cocobolo Top Matrix. I bought that off Alex Carter. Now that's the bass I want.
That's a serious bass, that one, yeah.
It's a serious bass.
Just a
you
little
wouldn't
bit.
have heard it. It's never been used on anything.
Actually, talking of Star Child,
yeah,
Moose actually got a Star Child that was completed in 2009 or 10, Moo?
Would have liked to say, but you know what a tart I am for Series 2s. Oh, I see why you two get on so well. Yeah, very good. You're very welcome here. Yeah. Chris, okay, I do the same. I don't know. Oh, we're talking about saving images. Right. S2s are the best.
It's a bit heavy.
Too sweeping a statement. There's too many other good basses out there.
Well, very true.
Yeah, pig bass, FPPR would be super special, yeah. Ollie, the Schaller MS4s, I've got a photo of the bass from around 87. It's got the same tuning pegs. I don't think John could source the standard gold ones. There was a period, I do remember there was a period in, I think, late 80s, early 90s, where Schaller were not always available because literally every company wanted their hardware.
Yep.
And I think they may have struggled, Aria were producing basses like they were going out of fashion. And all of their stuff, all the SBs had Schallers to start with.
Right.
And then you had Spectres were using Schallers, I think.
Completely.
Yeah,
Yep.
my Euro LX got Schallers. But, back in the 80s, 90s, things weren't produced in such mass numbers as clearly they are and can be now. Yeah. I see all the messages here. Ping Basement could have been a supply issue. Yeah, that's exactly it. The same ones well used. Yeah. Russell, I need guidance with taking pictures too. Every time I take a picture of my shiny ones, just keep it clean. They either blow out the colour or the contrast with the cat's eye shimmer. Some ash sen finishes display. I'm no expert when it comes to taking pictures. I've got some gear. I'm not a photographer. I go with what I think I can work with, and if you want help doing pictures, speak to a photographer because they've got the eye for it.
Yeah.
I'm a man of many hats.
Generally speaking, digital cameras work better in normal sort of outdoor light.
I agree.
They actually tend to sort of actually overblow reds indoors. So, yeah,
no, I'll go with that. I did a load of pictures back in 2008 of my collection as it was back then. They used to be on my Facebook page, and they came out great.
Please note the red button.
Exactly that.
Yes, red button, please, Mike.
Red button, please.
Yeah. That's it.
And taking pictures of purple things is very challenging.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Have we got one? We're there, are we?
We have reached the
You're wasting time, apparently.
Oh, that's good. Well, you know where to go, sir.
Absolutely.
There we go. He's gone. See, I love it because they think we're not going to do that. I'm happy to put you in the bin, mate. So now you can stand there banging away at the keyboard, really angry. Oh, but we don't see any of it. You're wasting your time.
Bang on, we'll make more.
Time.
We
got more coming, have we?
Slightest.
Oh my god.
So let's see. So Matt is saying that he's got a cherry replica. So I'm assuming that's a Series 1 that he had made before John passed, and he's got a Star Child as well.
Yeah, that's right.
I think we need photos, lad.
Yes, Matt's.
They won't be able to. They won't be able
to arrive.
They won't be able to upload photos. Send them to me, brooksyspacecorner@gmail.com, and then I can post them up.
Guys, I gotta go. Bye.
Zuma, take care. Enjoy your car. Make sure beat after beat hasn't nicked it.
I will.
Lock the doors.
Or your shirt collection, yes.
See you soon, mate. Take it easy. Russell's on it. It's like You'd like to make a transparent burst not look like clown paint. Then you can't see the grain.
Ooh,
Or if you're seeing
right.
grain, I know what you're saying. I've had that with some bases. Again,
Same here.
red ones with a quilted maple top. And you take the picture, it just looks like red. It's just red,
right.
and you don't see any grain. Actually, my empathy is like that. The cherry empathy is like that. It's got a lovely flame grain. You take a photo and all you see is red. It's like it can be done in certain light. It'll work, but I suggest, Russell, have a look at some videos on YouTube. There will be some photography channels that will point you in the right direction. It just means you got to sit through them. Run them at double speed so they go twice as quick, and you'll get it.
Chipmunk video.
I watch anything I watch on YouTube now run at double speed because I just don't have the time. I do. I don't have the time to sit and watch. I could be watching a vidIQ video that's 20 minutes long. I haven't got 20 minutes. I've got to do everything really quick. You should watch my videos at double speed. They're hilarious.
Lorenzo is jumping in saying hello.
I do. When I do the timestamps the day after, I run it at double. It takes an hour and a half to watch a 3-hour video, and I haven't got 3 hours to waste, so I have to do it at double speed. And we're actually really good at double speed, I have to say. It's quite entertaining.
I would imagine we are, yes.
Yeah. Mooski, Russell, I have the same issue. Total biff with a camera, and none of my basses come out as well as I'd like. Some of that can be ISO timing, if that makes sense, if you know that thing. But half of this is having the time to experiment and learn it. And as I said, doing YouTube, you become a person of many hats, but an expert in very few of them. So you just end up taking photos and go, that'll do. Whereas if you were learning it or you wanted to be really good at it, you'd keep going, and you'd it's like taking the skin off a banana and you want to get to the inner layers, it's that sort of thing.
Very true.
You don't have the time, so you just get a picture that you can use that will do the job. And then for me, like if I'm doing thumbnails and stuff, it goes into Adobe Express, start fanning around with all of that, and that's it. There's only so many hours in the day. If you're a team doing a YouTube channel, you got one guy doing the graphics, you got one guy doing the video, one doing the sound, one doing the presenting, one writing the scripts. You're one-man band. You haven't got the time. You'll kill yourself trying to do it all. It's mental. Russell, pictures can be night, day for the exact same instrument. Yes, I get that.
Very true.
100%.
It's all fine until I get to try. Yeah. Chris, Zuma, understood. Thank you. Lorenzo, good to see you. Hi, gents. Lorenzo's following you from Ostuni. Good to see you. You had a sale. I couldn't resist.
Shirts. T-shirts.
T-shirts.
Did you buy that, Chris? Well, that's not going to fit you because you bought a lady's shirt.
Unless.
You bought a lady's cut shirt. You did buy a cap as well. But thank you. If that was you, great. Hope your wife enjoys the shirt. Russell, I like my zebra wood body with a matte finish. Very easy to take pictures of. Yeah, but we like gloss coats. We do. Bella Canvas shirt. Yeah. Can't go wrong with a Bella Canvas. No. Beat after beat. Brooks' Bass Corner is the best bass channel on YouTube today. Well, what about tomorrow, though? And who was yesterday? They would burn my Beat After Beat T-shirts. Surely not. No. Here we go. Sorry, I've been slow on the messages here. Andre will know. Andre's great. Speak to Andre. Do you know Andre?
I do, yes.
Yeah, good.
And
he and I were going to write the... we were going to write the 20th anniversary coffee table status book. Just didn't get it off the ground. Missed the boat now, but unless we tried to do one for the 50th. But we did speak about it. Rob wanted to get involved. So actually, the idea came from the editor.
Yeah.
He said, why don't you do a coffee table book with status? So I said, I'd love to, but I can't be the only person to do it because there are other people that know more about it than I do. But I'd be happy to pull it all together, edit it, curate it. And Rob was like, yeah, we should do that. And I kept messaging him, and he was like, I've got so much going on, we can't do it. Spoke to Andre, and Andre was, yes, we're going to do this. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's going to be a fan project. We're going to do it. And it didn't and now we don't have the magazine, because I thought, well, if we can get this right, we could sell the book through the publishers and get Future Publishing to do all the printing and everything, and it would be great. It'd be like £100 book, but it would have all the fanciest data that had ever, and plot through the whole progress of the company. Didn't happen. Mooski, I had a cherry replica done just before John left us. Very good. So you Star Child. Yeah, okay. Beat after beat, I've banned people from my channel. So have I. You should see my banned list.
Huge.
It's lengthy. Yeah. Moo, I have a great picture of our dear friend Nick Smith playing my Star Child. Excellent.
Send me that
Loved
picture.
it,
Send me
because
that.
I had it made with 16.5mm string spacing. Chris, you got to go. Cheers, man. See you soon.
Cheers, Chris.
He's already gone.
Oh, he's gone. No, well.
Yeah. There we go. We're at the bottom of the list. There we go.
Oh,
There we go. If anyone's got any questions, bass effects, bass amps, bass accessories, strings, bass players, great albums with great bass playing on, fire away. Let's have it in the live chat window. If you're on the mobile apps, directly below here. If you're on the desktop, it's that way. And please give the video a thumbs up. Most important thing you can do for any video on YouTube. Most important thing you can do for me, for the channel, for this live chat. Please give it a thumbs up. If you're going to give it a thumbs down, then please leave a comment. Let me know what you don't enjoy or what isn't working, because I can't make the videos better if I don't know about it.
So if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Matt? This is a question for Matt. Obviously, you feel free to reply in the chat. Did you have that picture of Nick playing your bass on the Jaydee page on Facebook? I seem to recall seeing something of the sort. So maybe I'm daft. I don't know. See when he replies.
I actually have pictures of Nick playing the prototype, the first prototype Maple King Bass Mark II.
Was that the one that he demoed on Australian TV that Mark then went ballistic about?
There's that story.
That wasn't Nick's fault, to be fair. That was Status's fault. They should have checked with Mark beforehand.
True enough.
Nick's problem was he told Mark about it, and it shouldn't have come from Nick. It should have come from Status. So when Nick told Mark, he went absolutely hammer and tongs at him.
Now, speaking of King Bass, before we go hammer and tongs on everyone, are all the King Basses 16.5 mil, or are they different?
They were standard. Well, most King Basses were standard at 19.
Okay.
King Bass 5s were 18. You could special order them with 16.5, basically. Nearly all of the King Bass Mark IIs were actually 16.5. A couple of them 19s, and my 5 is 18, of course. So, yeah.
Because I remember Mark's Alembics were also 16.5, the specific, is what I was told.
Yes.
Right?
That was standard for Alembics, though, was it? Or not?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so, no. No, I thought Alembics were 19 or 20, aren't they?
Depending on the model.
It does depend on the model. If you go onto the Alembic site, although there seems to be some problems with it, you can go back in and see specs for specific models. And as you get to the bottom list, there's a thing about string spacing, and they break it down into. So basically, there are collections of certain models that have one size, and then another bunch that have another size, and it's all in there. I saw it last night because
there you go.
Jay has bought Distillate.
Oh, Mike. Peter has asked the ultimate question of
the ultimate, yes.
Peter Quinlan, good to see you. If you only allowed to keep one of your bases, which one did you pick? Well, I've had that many times here on this live chat. I can't pick one.
Neither can I.
I can't pick one. It's impossible because they don't all do the same things. So if you can give me 3, I'll have Status Empathy, I'll have a GB Rumor, and I'll have. It will be between a Kabiki and an Alembic.
How about you, Rich?
Can't pick one.
I would. The ultimate sort of number 1 is the S2, because I've had it for 19 years now. But I'd have to have, for of course, work and things. I'd have to have my main jazz as well. So 2 probably at least. So yeah.
How about you, Andy? What do you think, Andy? What do you got, man?
My status King Grace Black Beauty and my last 2, of course. I did have a Black Rumour Bernie made for me, which was phenomenal. It had the sensor light, the most advanced. Well, it cost a lot of money for him to do it, but I gave it back to him simply because the string spacing was too wide for me. Really, it was a gorgeous bass line. I gigged with it, and it was phenomenal. It was spa.
There you go.
That's another one that got away.
Right. Well, for me, you guys already know. It's the Attitude and the 2 JDs. Real simple.
Yeah.
No Ricks at all.
Well, that's the thing. I know we have so much fun deep diving
After
into
last
Ricks and all.
week's chat.
Yeah.
Well, let's digress to last week. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've owned 180 of them over the years. And I mean, I've got a list of all the serial numbers of everyone that has passed through my hands. I don't know. I think I just ran out to the end of it. And I mean, for what they do something specific well. But it for the last probably 5 years or so, haven't needed one. And every time I go to grab one, I listen to it and then I put it down and pick up the Attitude bass and go, forget the Rick. So that's kind of where it went.
I hear you. Gareth Harrison says, as I mentioned last week, I introduced my missus to Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. Does anyone know who played bass on that album?
No idea, actually. No.
Me neither, actually.
Get on Google.
Go on there.
Check on Google.
Mooski, that's where Mark was introduced to 16.5, his Series 2 Alembic.
There you
go. Beat After Beat. Has anyone ever played a stand-up bass or cello or own one? No.
Yes.
Oh, well, played
Yes.
one in jest.
I've got one.
But not...
I've
have one.
been classically trained as a cellist and a bass player since 1977. So, yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I have an old 1942 K double. So.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah.
So you can do all this stuff, The
old pluck, hit it. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're playing the bluegrass or the early country stuff where you want to start banging on. Yeah. I mean, they're great for that, especially with gut strings.
Yeah. Gareth Harrison, for him, the bass he keep is either his P bass or his Jack Cassidy.
There you go.
Mooski, I have 25 basses. Got to catch up, sir. Come on. Put your socks up there. And I'd have to keep one of my JDs in that top 3.
Playing at it, isn't he?
Well, that means, we got to keep a list. Let's go.
Yeah, playing at it. Yeah. You just started, man. You've just started. Right. Richard, beat after beat. I'm classic. Oh, yep. You started with double bass. Yeah. Music. You don't look old enough, Rich. He's 21. Just led a hard life. Gareth Harrison, right. Rockabilly.
Rockabilly is a big one.
Paper round, you say? Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, it's all those early mornings. Well, very pleased to say we've had nearly 500 views. Thank you very much, everyone. It's very good.
Very nice.
Lovely.
Lovely.
So keep giving the video a thumbs up. That's what the big deal. It doesn't cost you anything. It's literally a click on your mouse. That's all it is. If you're on your phone, a tap on the screen. We keep getting people on the mobile app going, I don't know where to give you a thumbs up. Right. If you're on the mobile app, you've got the live chat windows directly below the video. You'll see there's a drag line at the top of the live chat part. If you swipe down, that takes the live chat text away and it reveals the icons. The thumbs up and thumbs down and share and super chat and super thanks is all there. And then you put your finger on the bottom of the screen, swipe up, and it brings the live chat back up. So you want to hit the thumbs up. It's the most important thing you can do for the video. For me, for the channel, everything. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. Just give the video a thumbs up. It helps. The algorithm then projects the channel, and we get more bass players in. We get more information, and we can talk better stuff. And we have problems on bass. We've got more people to help. That's the way it all works. Richard, I forgot who's oldest, you or me?
I've got a big answer.
Moo's got the right answer. Well done.
You're right.
I like this man's style. You're welcome.
He's
here.
all right. He's
That's
all
it,
right.
Yeah. I slammed the like button.
Moo
with your
is the
foot.
oldest.
Right.
Ah,
There you go.
so he's
Moo's a
28.
1966 baby.
Oh,
Oh,
Whereas I'm an actual
I'm 65.
1969 baby. Yeah.
You're 65, Andy.
Yep,
What you
yep.
said.
I was born in 65, so next month.
All right. There you go.
There
Oh.
you go.
the big
And he's
one.
oldest then. There
That's
you
it.
go.
Yep.
Gareth Harrison, good friend of mine, is 5
really.
foot. Was he in the
Tall.
Time Bandits and plays in a rockabilly covers band, and the double bass is bigger than she is? Oh, okay. Right, I assumed it was a guy you were talking about. I'm just joking, guys. It's fine. James Little, hi, welcome. Don't think you've been here before. You may have watched and not commented in the live chat. We're talking basses, bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, great bass players, all of that. If you want to talk bass, this is the place to come and do it. You're very welcome. Stacey, a little status quo on the upright, Rich.
I will.
I'm
never
sure he
live
could
that
knock
down
out a
for
version of Roll Over Lay Down.
Well,
If he could do the solo,
yes.
I'd love
Easy.
that.
Easy.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Pete Quinlan, number one is your Kabiki. Yes, I remember you saying that when we were chatting at Christmas, which is currently in the process of going from blue burst to white. You know, it makes sense. White Kabiki all over. There you go. Fabulous.
John
Quite
Taylor.
right too. Just be aware, Peter Quinlan, it will go creamy ivory, just like mine has. And I've got now.
The pink one.
I basically have 4 white bases here. The Kabiki was, the white originally was like a polar white. That's gone cream ivory.
It's gone Chris
White-
Squire.
Kind of. It's getting.
Right.
The white GB is done in Old English white. So that's kind of already on the turn. The Mike Dirnt Fender is allegedly vintage white. I'm sorry. Under what guise is that vintage white? It's yellow. As Mike Dirnt says, margarine. It's
Margarine
white.
coloured, yeah.
Yeah, it's not vintage white. What a load of
Seems
rubbish.
like butter.
Exactly. Very nice. Lovely to play, but that is not vintage white in my book. And then I've got the... hold on. Then we have the bass center jive white fretless, which will be on the fretless Odyssey, and that is very white. That's white.
Very white.
Stunning white,
With
yes.
matching headstock too. So yeah, you'll be seeing a lot of that very shortly. So it's all good. White bass for the win. White Spectre is what you want. Yes, indeed. With gold hardware, of course. At least Stacey can't give you a perm. Don't tempt her, Richard. I know she has a source of wigs, so don't do. We'll get you one look like Coco the Clown. It'll be all rainbow coloured, and then you'll have to wear it. Gareth would love to see Richard doing Alan Lancaster covers on the double bass. Well, he has alluded to this, and I think with the right amount of wine and a certain amount of cash, we might get that.
May organise it, yes.
Keep prodding that bear, Gareth. You keep doing that. He will succumb, I swear.
You keep prodding the bear, and of course, one week there will
That's it.
be an upright.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Margarita time on an upright bass.
I don't know if there's an upright on Sunday.
James, like, what the hell are you boys talking about? You need to gen up on your status quo history, Jay. In fact, I'll bring some on Thursday.
Talking about will be on the End of the Road concert 1984 at
Belting. What a well, he really needs Glasgow 75, 74.
Ooh.
74?
Yeah, the
one they've just re-released as a box
Furious 4, yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
You may not know this, but before I shifted the entire large vinyl collection, I had 15 Quo albums.
No way.
There was a guy here that had a local shop, and he goes, "I don't know what this is. 2 apiece." I bought them all.
Excellent. Did you have back to back?
I did.
Brilliant album that was, yeah.
That's some good stuff on
Past tense though, because I mean, I shifted all the big wall that used to be nothing but records, because that was COVID. So anyway.
Well, you know, in the army now was a status Series 2 and Series 2000.
It was, yes, because
On
it was
bass,
done in
yeah.
1985.
Rhino's first album.
85,
86.
yeah, that's right.
86.
There you go.
Yeah.
Blue for you.
Stacey, she does. She has quite a few wig clients. There we go.
Oh,
Richard.
excellent. I look
Lovely.
forward to my
So if
wig.
you can get the rainbow coloured Coco the Clown number, send that over. I'll pass it on.
No.
We'll give him a whole new
I
look.
want a sort of curled one, so I look like, you know, Mozart or someone.
Stacey, we know exactly.
Powdered wig,
You
right.
want the orange rinse Molly Sugden, right? You know what I'm talking about.
I
Send
even
that
know
over, nicely packaged. We'll get it to him. He'll look lovely. All right. He'll look like a watered down Rita Sullivan of Coronation Street. An orange rinse, exactly. Yeah. See, you can see it. He's got the complexion for the orange. I think
Absolutely.
the blue might be a little extreme, but
Goes with the
orange you could
Vimto
certainly
also.
Too sort of
certainly
cold, yeah,
do all right
definitely.
with that, yeah. Anyway, let's get this back on a bass vibe. Hey,
She started it.
I know.
Oh, we love
She
our
has the
Stacey.
connections,
No
you see.
worries.
We do
No
indeed.
worries.
Molly Sugden and her little pussy. Yeah, thank you. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll stop that before that goes down the
Yeah.
chute.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Oh, you don't know what we're talking about. I could find a video.
No. Trust me. I have an idea, because Martin Sims kind of enlightened me a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What are we talking about? It's my live chat. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you're saying I'm saying hello as if you thought I didn't know what you're speaking about, but Martin Sims has kind of given me things over the years to be aware of who Molly Sugden is and all that.
Yes.
Oh, so we had a comedy called "Are You Being Served," which was
Oh,
set
yes.
at a department store.
Mrs.
She was like
Slocum,
the
yes. Right.
old, exactly. She was like the old matron of the staff, and
Yeah.
that was the running gag from the script writers.
Yeah.
Moo, I love watching old 80s music videos and being surprised by status bass being played. There's plenty out there. Well, there was them.
Yeah,
There
definitely.
was them. That's it, Stacey. Are You Being Served with Captain
Yes.
Hitchcock?
And can anyone name the sequel series?
Yeah.
I know there was a movie. They did a movie, like a long
They
play.
did a movie. Yeah.
They did a
They did.
movie.
But the actual sequel series, they'd all been let go at the shop and they got hired at a stately home. It was called
Go on.
Grace and Favour.
Ah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
That's it.
Ah, okay. I don't know that one. I didn't know
Yeah.
that one.
It
But-
didn't write. It kind of all the gags had been sort of used and
Done
they
already.
were running.
You can only
running
go
short.
young Mr.
Didn't
Grace.
last long.
You can
Yeah,
only go young
exactly.
Mr. Grace
Yeah.
so many times.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Anyway,
Correct. Yes.
gentlemen, basses.
Yes.
So you need an orange jazz bass then to go along with the wig. And
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
right, okay. We're back on track. Let's go.
Excellent.
Sure.
Hit it.
Yeah. We'll get him. Orange do a range of basses. I think one's orange and one's purple.
Oh, they're
Those are
horrible.
the Glenn Hughes specials. Yeah.
Ooh, Orange Crush.
Right.
No.
Stacey, it's a look, Richard.
Thanks.
She's formulating that. Yeah.
Oh, she's considering, yes. So Beat After Beat popped in as well, and he says, what stereo system speakers do we think has the best bass sound?
Ah.
Oh.
That's
What's
an
stereo?
interesting one.
Well, I bought my separate setup. We're talking. Kids are watching this going, separates? We
Hi-fi,
just stream
what does
everything
that
into our
That's
ears.
right.
Yeah. I bought my separates. It'll be 30 years ago next year. And I bought Mordaunt short floor standing speakers. And so the bottom, you could buy them without the bottom part and they would be bookshelf standers. Or
Right.
you bought them with the extra bit on the bottom and that sort of increased the
Boom.
bass end performance. They're great. They're great. I've still got them. Still use them.
Okay. Well, I joined the 21st century And if you look behind me, if I move the camera around, I have a little
There's a big
Bose
spider on the
box
wall.
there.
The big spider.
Oh yeah,
If you
Boris
look
the
to
spider.
the left
you bought a Bose.
of
Yeah,
the
Boris.
TV behind
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
there is a little Bose box there, which is a Bose SoundTouch 30, which is absolutely phenomenal. One little box.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds
All right.
amazing.
Right. I have a set. I have a couple of Sony bookshelves and a pair of freestanding Infinities,
Nice. Yeah.
which are from a few years back. But they'll, so Rich, aside from you and me, they'll part your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Andy?
I've got a couple of I've got 2 pairs of Mackie CR5s.
All right.
There you go.
Active speakers, very nice. Yeah.
They really are lovely.
Moo's saying, what do we feel about Say basses? They're fab. They're fab. Are you thinking of
Never
buying one?
played one,
Have you
actually.
bought one? Or I've played
I
quite a few.
think he owns several of them, and he has another one on order.
I've only seen one in person.
Well, you'll
Yeah.
see a few more on Thursday because they've got quite a few in stock.
But of
You
course.
might have your head turned.
I don't know. My head gets twisted around anyway.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan. I actually, usually when I go in the gallery, John will come up to me and say, well, you still haven't ordered a bass yet. But I tend to buy, I've only ever done one custom build. And I'm not, well, 53, I don't feel particularly inclined to go down that route again. I get better value for money buying second-hand basses, and I've got enough here at the moment. So, and I've had a fair expenditure this year buying a couple of Nick Smith items. So,
Spectre.
yeah. But they are, well, yeah. Well, who's going to turn that down?
No, of course not. Especially because it's a real one. Because it's a real one.
It's like bright red on the, because of the neck.
Well, that goes with the feathered. That goes with the feathered headpiece for Uncle Funk.
Yeah.
It will be coming out. It's going to get restrung next week.
There you go.
Yeah. But will be well looked after and cared for, I can assure
Yes,
you.
indeed.
Very nice.
I shall reiterate the same comment with the blue monster when it finds its way across the pond with me.
Mm-hmm. And Moose says he actually has 3 SEIs or SEIs, and just about to finish my latest. Love them.
Excellent. You can send me photos if you wish, Moo, and I'll put them up. You won't be able to send them into the chat because YouTube doesn't allow you to do that, but there's an email address ticking along the top of the screen, brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. If you want to show off your basses, you can. Just send me the photos in email and I'll save them to my hard drive, put them up on the screen.
Now
It's all good.
question for Moo. Is he coming to Peterborough on the weekend?
I don't know.
It'd be a great question to answer.
Actually, I've got a couple of little things going on. I did intimate one of them last week. I'm interviewing Gary Beers from NXS tomorrow.
Yeah.
From NXS, right?
Very nice.
He's got a range of basses that he's making and still involved in bands. And I mean, can't be much shy of 70, I think. But anyway, we're having a chat tomorrow, interviewing him in the evening. So looking forward to that. I loved NXS. You haven't had your vaccines for people. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It depends on where you're putting your hands and feet. So yeah.
Funny thing is, Peterborough's never met Jamie, so it swings and roundabouts, really.
Could be interesting.
It could. Gareth Harrison, the Orange O bass, a friend has one, and
is it any
how
good?
Does he find it? Yeah,
that was a leading comment. Okay, come on.
Do you know what? Well, they came out when we were still doing the Gear of the Year stuff at the magazine, and I think I put it in like the budget thing because it was priced to fit in that area, but we didn't get one to play, so I had absolutely no idea whether it was any good or not. But the problem was that year there was so few new instruments that fitted in under the £500 bracket. We couldn't find enough basses to put in, so it had to go in by hook or by crook. Bill Clements is in the house. Good to see you, Bill.
What's up, Billy?
Yes. Beat after beat, great choices. Thank you. We've done Moo's comment there. And that. I would love to, but we'll be away. Okay, not to worry.
Fair enough.
Oh, fabulous. Gary Beers. Gary Beers. So, yeah. Yeah, should be good. Looking forward to it. Gary's a top dude. I hope so. I don't know why his PR people have picked my channel out to give him an interview, but I'll do it. It's all
Have
good.
on it.
I've got to spend a few hours tomorrow coming up with questions and research and stuff. But normally I find with these sort of things, you get like past the first 2 questions and it just becomes a base chat. So it's all good. He's asking you where you are. He's in Nashville, but he will
Tennessee.
be here in London from Thursday afternoon.
Right.
And I'm bringing him and Stuart Butt up on Sunday to Nick's.
In actual fact, I need to ask, Jamie, do you know roughly what time we are actually meeting on the Friday?
So Toby said that the curry house is open at 5.
Okay, that's
so
early.
It will be dinner rumble for all the lovely spice.
Okay.
For the first gathering of the curry warlords, yes.
Okay, can either you or Mike send me a text with the
once we're there,
location?
I'll let you know.
No worries.
Yeah.
No worries.
We leave here about 4ish, so yeah.
Fair enough.
Mr. Pink Bassman.
Yes.
Have you got pounds sterling?
I have arranged for some, yes.
Okay, I was going to say, if you hadn't already arranged for some, on the tube on the way to your hotel, get off at Hammersmith, and within Hammersmith tube station, there's a company called Thompson Global Exchange. It's the cheapest place. You will get the best rates to change your money up.
Got it.
So if you've already sorted stuff out, fair enough. If you haven't, get off at Hammersmith. You literally come out of come up on the escalators, come through the ticket barriers, and Thompson is literally just there, straight outside the tube. That is the best place to swap dollars, pounds, and it's the best you'll get.
Okay.
And then you get back on the tube and get to your hotel.
Right.
Cheers, Bill. Yeah, we're all well. Thank you. That's good. We're in London for dinner. I haven't decided a restaurant yet. We're going to the gallery first, so it'll probably be Camden area, I imagine, somewhere around there. We will sort it out once we've finished in the gallery, and we'll go, well, where are we going then? And then we'll sort it out.
Well, Thursday. So Matt, Thursday is since I actually physically will be appearing at Heathrow on Thursday morning. We're talking about gallery and some type of curry mash for Thursday. So if you're up and about on Thursday, it'd be lovely to meet you, man. We're lovely to see you.
You need to put something on your Facebook to let people know that you're in London, because I said Ollie probably would want to. Ollie, are you coming to Nick's thing on Sunday? I can't remember.
And if you are, bring the red monster.
But if not, we're going to be in London on Thursday evening. So if you want to come, and you're in Windsor, you're down the road from me. So if you want to come and have curry with us in London on Thursday evening, join in. But you need, you was talking about getting people to come out for dinner and stuff. You need to put it on your thing. So.
Oh yeah, I'll have it sorted by the time I get on the ground.
Very good. Dinner on Friday in Birmingham. Yeah, we're just down the road from Hammersmith in Kensington. Well, there we go. Well, actually, saying that, there's a very good place in Earl's Court, Masala Zone. I've eaten there before.
Okay.
Really good. So if you wanted, we don't have to eat in Camden. We could get on the tube, go down to Earl's Court, and we'll meet Matt there.
We'd be great.
There's all sort. Look, you're in London. Every corner's got a curry restaurant. So
right, but we want the good ones that are going to set us on fire.
I might just send him to Soho and say, go and find a dungeon somewhere.
No.
Spike, red hot poker. If you're about, I should be about. So that would be great. I'll ping Rich. You're not coming to London Thursday, are you?
Don't know yet. Possibly.
Okay.
Good Lord, you're going to be putting in a few miles this week.
Is he? I always do.
Wow.
Well, we can always.
You're free. You're welcome to join us. You want to come to the gallery?
I think probably this week I'll leave it until the Friday because I'm travelling at the weekend quite a lot.
Going for your orange wig fit, aren't you?
I'm visiting Stacey for my wig fit. That's right. Yeah.
You need
That's
a
right.
you need a very good car for that. She's in North Carolina. But
She's closer to me at this point than you
That's
at
right.
this time.
Absolutely.
Well, I tell you,
yeah,
you
very
can
true.
pick it up en route. Surely you can.
I surely can. Yeah.
You should come and drop it off before you
Cheers, guys.
get on the
Thanks.
plane. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
all
right. I just have to run. I just have to run east across the state and end up in
All I
North
can
Carolina.
say
Right?
is that Christmas has come early this year. Then
That's
lovely.
it, yeah. How about that?
Wow, between wigs and straps, why not? You know.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
That's right.
I'm just checking. Oh, we've had a whole new load of subscribers. Thank you very much if you've subscribed since
nice.
we went live. We've had 5
Very
new
nice.
subscribers. Welcome aboard, gang. Hope you find some content on the channel that works for you.
Bases,
Very
curries,
good. I'm
straps,
just
wigs.
Just checking.
Yeah.
all of
Clowns.
That the stream
That's right.
health
We've got
is-
we've got wigs and straps for clowns. We've got curry if you're hungry, and bass if you want to pluck. Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So what's your alternative if you don't go to see Martin Sims on Saturday? What are you going to do? Because it's meant to be,
Pishing down, right?
yeah.
So that still has to be sorted. So Saturday is a little bit up in the air if we don't go see Martin.
Were you still going to consider going to Bass Brothers if we don't go there on Friday?
Yeah, I'd like to kind of try to see if we can make that happen somehow.
Yeah, I'm not
'Cause
sure
I wanna
how
have a go
far
on
they
that, JD.
are. I'm not sure how far away they are from the local train station.
Okay.
Well, I can have a look. Hold on, let's help you out here.
So while you're doing that, Gaz says we should have Stacy make Richard a wig to fit on his headstock of his bass. Well, if he's playing a status, there is no headstock. Unless.
No. One of the status bases has one. The other
The
two don't.
empathy. Yeah. Does the empathy has a headstock, doesn't it?
No.
Yep.
The King Bass
Well,
2. does.
anything
Oh, the
after
King Bass 2, right.
1990 can have a headstock.
It can, yeah.
Yeah.
But the S2 and the Stealth 2, no. No head.
Right.
Headless.
Yeah, headless. Right.
Have a little look here.
No,
What
indeed.
is it then?
And all the better
Where
for
is
it.
That's right. He can fit in the overhead on the plane that way.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
In actual fact, I did 2 jobs in Seattle years and years ago with a streamline. So,
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, yes.
just chuck it in there. Not a problem. Yeah.
I
Nothing
think
to
the nearest train station is going to be Royal Leamington Spa.
Okay.
Yes.
Not that far away, but
Walkable or taxiable?
Taxi,
taxiable.
I'd imagine.
Taxi. Okay. Right. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Because Bass Brothers isn't actually in the town. It's out on the old.
Out on an industrial estate.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's just off
Well,
the old-
hopefully Will can fit us and sort it on Friday.
Right.
And if not, you know.
I mean, it might be that we go to Bass Brothers on Friday if we get our crap together and we haven't got a tube strike to contend with and he can fit us in. But until we get together on Thursday and we know,
Right.
I mean,
We'll
once
plot
we're at
for
the tube
alternate
stations,
plans.
we'll know what's going on. Tomorrow I can do a bit of research to see, because it sounded like the Elizabeth line wasn't going to be affected. So if that's the case, then at least you've got some way of getting about town. I mean, you've got all the buses and everything else anyway.
Sure.
It does limit you a bit. Well, certainly getting out to here,
Mm-hmm.
you'll probably have to, if there is a tube strike, you'll need to get the Elizabeth line out to probably Hayes, and I'll come pick you up from there, and we'll take it from there. But we'll see once we get into Thursday what the lie of the land. It could all not happen.
Mm.
These
Right.
things have a way of going.
According
that
to
way.
Matt, the tube strike latest is Sunday until Thursday next week.
Well, that would be very helpful.
Mm.
Indeed.
Be helpful. Stacey, are you all going to check out bases before or after curry? Before.
Or in the middle while
Can you
we're having
imagine
a
us
bite.
going in a base store after we've had a curry? Open the windows, please. It would be mental. Elizabeth
That
Line
was-
is listed
It
as
was
in
very
the
white
strike.
when you
It
came
wasn't
in, but
last
now
week.
it's creamy.
Yeah, exactly. It's a mist.
Right.
There's a mist. Elizabeth Line is listed as in the strike. It wasn't last week. They were saying Elizabeth Line and the Overground were going to be still running, but again, all these things could have changed since then. So,
and they could change by the time I'm here and the time I'm there. So,
yeah, all of
that.
that.
Wonderful, all that. Yeah.
All of that.
See, now if they had it, now
is.
see, so you need a shop that says Brooksy's Bass Corner, where you've got a shop full of basses and a curry spot right inside.
That's a very good business idea, actually.
Because you can sit down, have a go slapping away on something, and then have a curry.
Yeah.
And have a little slap on
There's
something.
probably a reason why no one else has done it, though.
Yeah.
Why is that?
You can't tell me. Well, I don't know. I don't know what
Because-
that reason is.
Because all of your beautiful stock would actually reek of curry.
That's right.
Yeah, there's that. There's that.
Because, yes, everything would smell like the essence of curry. Yes.
Yes, that's right. Yes. Possibly not a good idea.
Yes.
There's
Essence
that.
of curry post-digested.
Yes, possibly not your greatest ever plan, Jamie.
No.
Just a thought, anyway. Well, you know, because you could have
There's
cups
room.
and cakes on the side. So,
That still needs work.
yeah.
Still needs
Oh,
work.
yeah.
It's 11:05 here in London town. You're very welcome. It's live chat 129 here in Brooks's Bass Corner. We're broadcast now on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So if you're out there, give us a wave, send a message, say hello. I don't know how many people really log in from Instagram. It doesn't show on my analytics, but we're there. We're out. We're live. Apparently.
Here, there, and everywhere.
Allegedly. Here we go. What's that?
What sort of time are you guys planning to get there on Sunday?
Around midday-ish.
Noonish.
Running till 9 o'clock, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
because
doors
there's
open
20
at 12.
20
be,
bands.
I'll be driving up in the morning from Portsmouth.
Ah,
So it's about a 3.5 hour drive.
yeah. It's not. It's not just up the road. It's a
Not for me,
it's a
it's
lengthy old.
It's a
journey.
moment,
It's a good
yeah.
hour and a half from here. So yeah. Oh, John Cooper. Here we go. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're well. Stacey, how much did curries run over there? The main curry bit, 8, 9, 10 quid, and then you get your rice and your bits and your everything else. So yeah, you could have a seriously good curry for 20 quid.
There you go.
There you go.
Matt's leaving, actually, so
Matt,
Cheers,
good
Matt.
to see you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Cheers, Matt.
Good to have you on board.
Good to see you.
Hope you enjoyed it.
not a problem.
John Cooper,
See you,
right?
mate.
Mike and gents, as usual, I've joined super late. Have no idea what you're talking about.
Everything.
Don't worry,
Woo!
neither do we, John. Sounds like a mix between TFL updates, Vindaloo appreciation site. It's all of that and more.
And more.
Wigs, clowns, bass,
Yes,
curry,
exactly.
Right.
straps. Yes. True.
Yeah.
All of that.
Matt, gents, I have a very early morning, so it's been a real pleasure. Thank you. And hopefully catch you in London on Thursday.
Excellent.
Yeah, I don't know who you're going to talk to. I mean, you can email me if you want, and I'll pick up the emails. Or you
Or
can
I
converse
can
with
pass
Rich
Matt's
if Rich has my
number
number,
over
so
to
please
you.
hand it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's all cool. Usually around 60, 70 quid for 2 people. Yeah, kind of. Depends how many main meals you have in States. Jim Hawkins, I feel very bad. Jim asked me to give him bass lessons, and I've still not sorted it out. It's about 2.5 years ago. I've been busy, Jim. I'm sorry.
Time to get cracking.
If you are still in the ball game for lessons, let me know, and we'll sort that out. I can sort that out now. Things are a little different work-wise, so yes, we can do that. If you've already got someone teaching you, then that's perfectly understood. My bad. I've been flooded with things to do. It's all good. No worries. If you still want lessons, Jim, message me, and message me on Messenger, and we'll talk about it and get it all up and running. Cheers, Matt. Good one. Stacey having a good old belly laugh. There we go.
She's laughing, yes.
Yeah. I wonder if
Nah.
that was Chris that bought the T-shirt and the cap. I don't understand why he bought a woman's T-shirt.
I guess we'll find out next Tuesday.
Maybe. Well, he'll have had it delivered by then. So
Indeed,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They're good shirts.
Mike,
Mike?
you know,
Yes, sir.
about the chip up on Sunday, is the M25 still roadworkies on the A3? or
A3 possibly. I suggest to you, because I've been down the south coast today because my parents live in Wickham. If you come up via sort of Fareham,
yeah,
and then come through like West Meon and the
I
Meon
know.
Valley,
You're the back one,
come up
yeah.
through Droxford, West Meon,
Yeah,
and
like-
come up through like Alton and then Farnham, and
Oh, I
join
know
up
where
with
you
the
are.
M3. Join up
Oh, I
with the
know where you are.
M3 at Junction
I know
4.
where you are. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
And that's all fine. In fact, there were no roadworks on the M3 or the M25. Bypass the A3 junction as much as you can. It's a pain in the hole.
Brilliant.
And at night time,
Will
it's
do.
crap from like junction 11 down to junction 9. Like last week, I was coming back from Kent. I got caught there at junction 9, leading up to junction 10 for like 45 minutes.
Really?
Just
Okay.
don't bother with it.
Brilliant.
Sounds like
come
here.
up from. I mean,
shorter,
you can.
shorter distance
You
as
could.
well.
I mean, what you could do is go up the A3 as far as Guildford and then head up towards Farnham, and head towards the M3. So that will bypass the whole A3 junction.
Yeah, because I got to Basingstoke and Reading quite a lot.
Okay.
We were up to Selborne and Alton. Yeah,
That's the way.
easy.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's easy.
the
That's
way to
brilliant. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But, no, it's been a clear run. I'm doing that like every week, and it's a fairly clear run at the moment. So.
Lovely.
And it's shorter distance wise. If I came down from where I am to my mum's via the A3, it'd be like 80 miles. Doing this thing, cutting through the country bit, it's like down about 65. So, and you can actually put your foot down. It's not bad.
Yeah, I live in not far from Wickham, Waterlooville. You heard of Waterlooville?
Yeah.
That's where I live.
Oh well, if you're in Waterlooville, and it makes sense to go up the A3, and like I say, by the time you getting towards Guildford, sort of around Eashing way, then start taking the roads up towards Farnham, towards the M3, and then pick up the M25 at Junction 12.
Okay, great.
Jamie's there going, what the hell are they talking about? You're going to learn the joys of the M25, don't you worry.
It can't be any different than what I'm used to here with the. Well, I'm saying, well, you have a nice motorway that has construction every 2 bits, and you go and do all of this all the time.
That can still happen.
I'm over
I
here.
can say it's clear now. It can still happen before the weekend.
Of course,
don't you worry. And there's the joys of the M1 as well. Although we aren't doing M1, I don't think we'll do A1M.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
Right.
It'll be fine. Looking forward to your flight tomorrow?
Yep.
Where are you flying from?
So it starts from here to Atlanta, and then I sit there for a bit, and then we hop the Big Bird to come across the pond from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. And what's the scheduled landing time?
11:10 a.m.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Okie dokes. And his Nibs is meeting you there, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Very good. And then you'll message me once you're heading towards town, and then we'll know how the day's panning out.
Right.
That's after you've been searched.
Routine.
Yeah. You come over here with a pink beard, they're going to look at you rather strangely.
Yeah.
I expect no less, honestly. So.
Yeah. Well, I suggest you have curry before you fly, and that might put them off. So, yeah. Okay. Anyone else got any base questions? Let's have it while 3 of us are here. Joys of the M6 near Birmingham. Yeah, that's going to be it. Well, actually, we're not going to get too involved in that because I don't know actually where Jaydee are. So let's just have a little look for that, shall we?
Yeah, then Borsley Corner, aren't they? Moseley area, near Moseley.
Here we go. B10 OSA. 10 OSA. Get on the maps.
Borsley Green and.
I haven't got this far yet. Right, here we go. Oh, we're slap bang, aren't we? Right, we're going up M40, 2, and then whether we go A34 or B435 Grand. Have you been there before, Andy?
I have a few times, yeah.
Have they
Yeah,
got parking there?
There is, yes.
Yes,
beautiful.
there is.
That's good.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Well, that's good. If I can leave the car there and then we can walk to the curry place, that would be super.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, Toby's place is it's a separate building, isn't it? Where Toby does his stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jim Hawkins, top 3 favourite 80s bass lines. Whoa.
Wow. Okay.
Blimey. Who wants to go first there?
Let's,
So-
those of you
by
watching,
David
feel free
Bowie.
to contribute to this. Pardon?
Let's Dance by David Bowie.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Yes.
I guess it depends on which style of music you're going to speak about.
Yeah.
Because thinking 80s, you could go anything with Pino.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You could go, oddly enough, this just kind of reminded me, Howard Jones's brother played a wall on the original bits from High Wycombe.
Mm.
Then you've got the Durans. And then if you go heavier, you've got Iron Maiden. And you've got Rush. And you've got
Run
Chris
to the
Squire.
Hills.
We got Run to the Hills. And you've got Chris Squire doing 90125 and Big Generator.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots to pick from.
Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer.
Oh, brilliant one, yeah. Rio.
Right.
See, I'd always go a simpler line, but Hungry Like the Wolf had far more impact. Like when
Yes,
I first
true.
heard that,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
like, it's an incredibly simple line, but it just
It is.
works in the
Yeah,
context
really well.
of that.
I got to be honest.
I'm running.
There you go.
Mr. Pink Bassman. Yeah,
Yes,
Chris
indeed. From
Squire.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'll
honestly,
even throw a real wild card in here.
go on.
Big Bubbles, No Troubles by Ellis, Beggs and Howard.
Oh,
Really?
well, then you
Ooh.
can back up. You can back up 2 steps and have 2 shy.
Oh, total
I was
wild.
going to say
Big
that.
Bubbles, No Troubles is better.
Okay.
And
Okay.
people will be going,
Apple's good as well. Big Apple.
who? Go and look at it on YouTube. It's
Yeah.
from an album called Homelands by Ellis, Beggs and Howard from 1988.
Okay.
Amazing album.
What
Amazing.
about I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred?
By my good friend Phil Spalding, who's no
Yeah.
longer of this parish.
Hmm.
I prefer Deeply Dippy.
Well, true, yeah.
The song Kasha Gugu.
Yeah.
Not just the band, but the tune. The
Yeah.
tune itself.
Don't know that.
White Feathers is good.
White Feathers is a good one. Yep. Speaking of Beggsy, right?
Yeah.
Super
Ergonomics as well. It's another great one.
Dare I
Anything off
say?
the Arcadia album.
Oh,
Yes.
Mark,
Oh, yeah. Brilliant stuff that is, yeah.
Mark Egan.
Mm-hmm.
Anything actually off Seeds of Love by Tears for Fears,
Tears for Fears,
yeah.
right?
Yes, indeed.
because
Yeah.
most of it is Pinot.
And of course, we have to have Mark King in there somewhere.
Oh, yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Yes.
We can't
got that
bypass
far.
the King. So
Lessons in Love, Running in the Family.
Hot
Yeah.
water.
Super Accident.
Big
True
one.
Believers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, for a simple groove, Sleepwalkers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Turn it on.
even.
Turn it on.
Turn
is
It On's a
great
good
bass.
one.
Yeah,
Pro.
that's another one.
And if Mike gets his fingers untweaked, he can do Kansas City Milkman. Think I forgot, didn't you?
Fluff. No. I was more embarrassed for myself that I couldn't remember it.
Oh well, it's okay. We'll have a go on there,
I hadn't played it in
Okay.
26 years.
right?
Yeah.
It's one of those. See, you play a Jaydee, it just lends it. You hear those sounds.
No
And
question.
it's like and it's not the sounds of the notes; it's the passing string sounds and stuff. It's just it's intrinsically built, which is what we were saying on last week's live chat. Oh no, it was actually on the workshop video. You
Yeah.
want that Jaydee sound?
Yes.
You got to buy a Jaydee. You
Yep.
can't go and buy another bass and go, oh, it'll be
The back
like that
pickup.
because it's a through neck and.
There's nothing
Yeah.
nothing like it.
Nothing to do with it. Well, listen to the live version of the chant from Wembley.
Yeah.
That was the pink one.
Microkid.
That was the pink one. Oh, Micro Kid's another one.
Microkid Lives is different.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That
That's a smashing one live.
We've got a beat after beat, Duran Duran Rio, Jim Hawkins, Mystery Achievement. Who's that?
Mm.
Mm.
Okay, Beat After Beat,
Or-
Japan, Sons of Pioneer. Gareth Harrison, Video Killed the Radio Star.
Oh yeah,
Which my
really good
friend
one.
Jan, who has been here on a live chat once before, is the female singer on that.
Oh,
All
really?
right.
She gets royalties every year.
Of course she does.
Very good.
Oh, yes. Kaja G00.
Kashagugu.
I know
Yeah.
what he's just being silly.
He's
Jim Hawkins
cheeky,
sings
cheeky.
and love is mostly Pinot. It is. Look at the credits. It's a
Right.
toss-up between him and Kurt Smith.
Yes.
Les Groove, Earth, Wind and Fire. I think, is that 80s? I thought it was 78.
Could be.
79. I could be wrong. MJL, good to see you. Length of nose hair in inches.
500 mil.
14 foot and a half.
There you go.
I don't know. I mean, if you make your next sentence a good one, or you'll be bombed out. We're talking bass guitars.
Chic, good times, definitely, yes.
Bernard
That's not
Edwards.
80.
Right.
Is that 80? Is that 80?
Can't remember
Good
actually.
times. I think
70,
good times.
70.
Oh, it might
Pretenders,
be,
he
'cause
says.
It's on Risque, isn't it? It's on
Yeah.
Risque,
Yeah.
which was the year after Say Chic. Hang on, let's see. Here we go. Here we go. It
What
is
about,
on Risque, which was 79. No, I'm sorry, you can't have it. Can't have it.
Okay.
It's released June 79.
What about
We're building lists here. by the way.
wax?
Again.
Yes, Bridge to what? Bridge
Waxed
to Heart.
or wax?
Wax. I'm trying to think.
Graham
of the song
Gouldman,
name.
Andrew Gold,
Yeah.
Building a bridge to your heart.
Building a Bridge to Your
Yeah.
Heart.
Brilliant.
Lovely
brilliant,
one. That.
Brilliant song.
Yeah.
There's a song-
Jim
there's a song
Hawkins,
on
that,
Pink
that mystery song is by the Pretenders. Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry, Andy. There you go.
On the No Parlay album, Paul Young, Peanut,
Yeah.
there's a track called Woman.
Yes. Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
It was, it's just phenomenal. That was
How about Nick Kershaw with Easy?
Yes.
Mm.
No,
Didn't think I knew that one, did you?
Which
I knew.
Kershaw track did Mark King play on?
Easy.
Easy,
yeah.
that one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's why it's good.
Well, Dennis Smith was no slouch either, honestly, but he
No.
didn't do it like Mark King, of course.
No.
There was a live version of that on the YouTube a couple
Oh.
of years ago.
Take your pick of any of the first Go West album because it's all Pinot.
It's all Pinot.
And
yeah.
and for further enjoyment, check out the album after, which is Bangs and Crashes.
Yeah, that's
Which
what
is
I was
basically
saying.
that whole album with all the remixes and alternate versions, and then a bunch of live playing with Graham Edwards, which is
There you go.
tasty too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't Look Down's my favourite. Brilliant song.
MJL, what is the question? I don't know. You're talking nonsense, mate. You're off by. Thank you. You're just talking nonsense. I'm not putting up with it. Missing Persons, yeah.
Good one.
Destination
Another
Unknown.
one, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Was the Joni Mitchell album that Jacko played on 70s or 80s?
70s.
70s.
Yeah,
Late
That is
70s.
absolutely phenomenal. That.
70s.
78, 79.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put in there a shout for John Giblin on Street Fighting Years, Simple Minds.
Yeah, Simple Minds, yeah.
He's not on the whole album. They've got a couple of different bass players, but what he plays on there is fab. And actually, everything he
Absolutely.
plays on Live in the City of Light and Once Upon a Time is fab.
And then the 70s for him, you've got Gordon Giltrap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
A little bit of
Brand
Gibble, a little
X.
bit of Gus.
And
It
Brand
played-
X.
Bass for Prince on 1999.
It's a lady, wasn't it?
That would be no Andre Simone.
All right.
Oh,
okay.
sorry. No. Hold on. No,
Was it Touch?
no. It wasn't Brown Mark. I don't think he wasn't there. Hang on, Prince and the Revolution. Sorry, I'm getting. I can picture the bass player. I think I've got the. Maybe it was Brown Mark. Hold on. Hold the bus. Let's go into the wiki, see who's on it. Might have been Prince. Don't be surprised if it was.
No.
Personnel. Here we go. Bass. It's Prince.
Prince. Oh, well.
Was it really?
His credits for that track: lead vocals ARP Omni 2, Oberheim OBXA, electric guitars, bass guitar Lin LM1, cymbals Pearl SY1, Syncussion, tambourine, hand claps, and Everyone needs it. Cowbell.
Okay, well, there you
Every
go.
time.
Mm-hmm.
You actually did it all then, basically, practically.
Pretty much.
Mm.
Pretty much. The rest of them are just doing vocals on it.
Mm.
Bobby Z does some percussion. Yeah.
Mhm.
Curiosity.
But
Sorry.
when you're that good, why would you want anyone else doing it?
Well, true, yeah, there's
True.
that.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah, Misfit and
Oh,
Yeah.
very
yeah,
good.
It's a good track. Very good. Gareth Harrison, In a Big Country by Big Country. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
What about,
Jim Hawkins, Power Station, Some Like It Hot. Yeah, go on.
What about, trying to think what they're called, band from Long Eaton in Derbyshire. Swing Out Sister, Breakout.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, Mark did
Right.
the Princess Trust 89.
Jim Hawkins, The Firm, Radioactive. I remember that. Yeah.
That's Tony Franklin, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Beat After Beat, Ultravox, Reap the Wild Wind. Yeah.
Call of the Wild, Midua. No.
Yeah.
No. It wasn't one of good space. It was just Mark played on it, that's all.
We are creating a list here.
As long as we're not going on for another 3 hours with a list.
No, we're not. We have history, Andy. It's a private joke. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm just quickly scrolling through my music player.
While you're doing that, I'm checked in and ready to fly.
Say again?
I said, while you're doing that, I'm checked in and ready to fly.
Top 3 favorite 80. There's too many good ones, though. That's the problem, Jim.
Truly.
What was that I just saw there in my music player? Aerosmith, Loving an Elevator. Great bassline.
Brilliant one. Yes, yeah. Brilliant one.
There's a couple of bits on that track I thought sound like slapping, and it's not. It's the track. The bass track is overly compressed with the pick. So he gets it to distort.
Haven't you that?
Yeah, go.
What about the bass line that was shared, well, sort of copied by chance, which was Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer, and Belinda Carlisle,
Heaven on Earth.
Worth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exact same song.
It is.
You can replicate that with Huey Lewis, I Want a New Drug, and Ray Parker Jr. and Ghostbusters.
That's because Ray Parker got sued for it.
Yeah.
Certainly did.
He most certainly did.
Certainly did.
Well, if I may...
Jim Hawkins says Power Station, Some Like It Hot. Gareth Harrison, Stray Cat Strut. Yeah, I remember when that came out.
Yeah,
Beat After Beat, My Sharona by The Knack. Great bassline, great track.
There's this one.
Jim saying you can have a top 10, and then he's gone, no, you can have a top 50. To be honest, we did. Do you know what? I actually, when we changed publisher, actually just before we changed publisher, in about, no, I'm getting that wrong. We were changing editor, so in 2008, before Adrian Ashton left and Nick Wells came on, I put together a proposal for Adrian, which was because we were coming up to an anniversary for the magazine. And I said, let's look back at bass. It was kind of taking an idea that bass player had done, but I thought we could do a better job of it. And it would be look at bass from when it came out, and then go through 50s, one issue being the 50s, one the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and we'd come up to the 2000s, and then the final one in that run would be 2010s. Unfortunately, we couldn't be that polarized. You couldn't do that. No one would buy the mag. And but I gave him all the breakdown. I literally did like 50 best bass lines of each decade, who we would need to interview, the gear we'd need to look at, most important musical moments from those decades. I've still got the outline of it all. It never happened, of course. Adrian left the following issue, and Nick Wells was like, no. It's like, okay. David Lee Roth, Eatman.
Yeah, I'm sticking with this one, Mike.
Yeah, that's great. Love it.
Yeah, brilliant one.
Although I wish someone had remastered the vinyl. I don't know if they've done a reissue of it. It's very quiet.
It is. Well, that's
got. It's like suffering from Toto 4 itis.
Yes.
Why would you want a loud album? Let's make it really quiet now.
Indeed.
Crazy. Beat After Beat. I don't think Sharona came out in the 80s. You might be right. I think
79.
Oh, Oh, yeah, it's on that borderline, isn't it?
Get the Knack. Get the Knack was the record.
Gareth, that would make a great series of videos. Yeah. We'll see. I'm working on a great video at the moment. You'll see it soon enough. Jim Hawkins, Donald Fagen, New Frontier. Yeah,
That's a good one.
Beat
Night
after
Fly and
beat,
all that.
going crazy. David Lee Roth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Copied those tapped harmonics. That's probably where I first heard him do that. In the breakdown. And it's not tapping, it's tapped harmonics.
Right.
As you go down the string, it makes a different tone.
Yeah.
And I got that. I've used that. I've used that for 35 years. You come and see me play at the end of a song. Wah, bang, wah, yeah, every time. Very rich bass in that song.
Definitely.
What about
Yeah, he got a good bass. Go on, Andy.
what about Patrice Russian? Forget Me Nots.
Freddie Washington.
Yes, 82, I think.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
A really, really cracking one. Lionel Richie, Dancing on the Ceiling.
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
That's Nathan
played
East,
that.
wasn't it? Was that Marcus or Nathan East, or was it somebody else?
Find out. I think it's the producer, James Newton Howard. Let's have a look.
Okay.
Hold on. I didn't pick that out as a great bass line because I remember learning it and thinking, this ain't so great. Hang on. Let's have a
Is
look.
that it, sort of thing? Yeah.
Yeah. Bass was Neil Stubenhouse.
Neil Stubenhouse.
Now
Okay.
we're talking. James Anthony Carmichael. He was the producer for 3 of Lionel Richie's big albums, and he used to do all the horn and rhythm arrangements. And very often he played bass on there as well.
Imagine that. Okay, so Beat After Beat just says The Fix Saved by Zero.
Don't know that.
That's
I remember the Fix, but
Reach the Beach was the record. It had One Thing Leads to Another and all that on it.
Gareth Harrison, I can't go for that. All notes. Yes, but I prefer the live versions. Not
With
the
T-Bone Walk,
recorded
right?
Yeah, the 1990 tour performances here in the UK, which had Kasim Sultan, that was when I first heard Spectres. So I heard it on the Radio 1 performance, which you can listen to on YouTube, it's up there. And then seeing it in Bournemouth about 3 months later, and he had 2 basses on a stand. One was a Warwick, and the other was the Spectre. And the Spectre is what he played. Now, I didn't know that's what he was playing on the Town and Country Club gig 3 months earlier. And then I'm about 3 rows back from the front, and he's playing a Spectre, and I'm hearing this all loud and in my face. And next day, on the phone to the bass centre, you still got any Spectres? No, we haven't had any for months. Stupidly, there was a guitar shop about 6 miles down the road from where I was living at the time, which was called Top String in Gosport. They were the UK distributors for Spectre. I could have gone down to the shop and bought it.
Typical.
It would have been $4,500, but that's by the by.
There you go.
Because of hearing it in real life, played by a session ace, 3 rows in front of you.
Speaking of Kasim Sultan, have you listened to Utopia's Oblivion?
No.
It's an 84 record that Todd Rundgren, but Kasim is on it, and it's got some interesting bits on it.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Gareth Harrison says Rick James, Super Freak.
Oh,
Sampled
yes.
by MC Hammer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Playing a Gibson Explorer bass. Not the Rickenbacker.
Nice bass playing, actually.
Somebody
nice
has to.
fretless on You're the Voice, John Farnham.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you watch the live versions with his own touring band, the bass player becomes a real feature of that. Beat after beat, Duran Duran Super Freak. It's not the same. It's not the same.
No.
Yeah. Well, we could go on for hours, gents, but it's
We
half
could.
past 11.
It's almost half 11,
And a
right?
certain young man's getting on a plane. Not
is.
too long.
Yes.
So, right, safe flight, sir.
Yes.
See you Thursday.
See you soon.
Yes.
See you on Thursday. We'll see. We'll see Rich on Friday. I might
Right.
see him Thursday.
When his head is sweating from the curry as it's dripping down, you know.
Well, he's got to take the wig off to be able to
Right,
see.
right. Well, Stacy's got to fix him up, so yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Correct. Andy, pleasure. See you on Sunday.
That's it.
Hopefully,
Cheers, Andy.
look forward
Cheers,
to it.
Andy. Lovely to
Yeah,
see you.
Thanks for tuning in. Cheers,
Look forward
boys.
to seeing you.
Yeah, nice one. Right, on that note, these lovely chaps, we're going to leave it there, folks. It is 11:30 here in London. Thank you for joining in. Well done, Jim Hawkins, for suggesting that. Beat after beat, many blessings. Fabulous. Look, fabulous people.
Right back at you.
Right, any of you that come in the next thing on Sunday, come up, say hello.
Right. Come say
If you
hi.
don't know what I look like, you know what he looks like. And if you want to join us for food, we're going for food afterwards. Oh dear, oh dear. Don't know where
Bomb.
you came from.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, on that note, have a great week. If you're out gigging, enjoy yourselves. Get there safely, come back safely. And I will see you next Tuesday. There will be some live chats and stuff. I've got all sorts of things going on this week. And we'll be doing some live chat stuff as well.
Yes,
if
we
we've got
will.
good reception or Wi-Fi. So on that note, have a great week. Enjoy your bass playing. We'll catch you soon. Take it easy. Thank you very much.
Cheers, all.
Cheers.